Happy St. George's Day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me today. Honestly, when I say a fun-packed show, I am doing it down. I've got so much for you today. I am joined by two guest designers. We're going to be having a look at 3 different projects. I have got 2 new strands for you, including this beautiful labradorite and one of the largest squidged up strands of aquamarine I have ever seen. Look at this. Oh, couldn't squeeze any more on if we tried. These 2 are coming up for you in the show. As well as that, I have got my favourite. I've got an opal showcase for you. Something for every pocket. I've got some opal in there, a couple of strands actually that are going to be coming in under £6. So I can't wait to give those to you. I've got this huge matrix box of goodies as well. I've got a natural beauty section. That means that all of our gemstones in that section will be totally natural. No heat, no filling, no nothing on them. That's coming up for you really soon. I've got one-hit wonders as well, which means that all the strands or goodies I'll show you in that you've only ever seen once on screen before, so it could be your chance if you missed out the first time to get them this time. I've got a competition which is just amazingly ridiculous. 4 questions will be coming up through the show today. If you get all 4 right, you've got the chance to not only win a white and red, St. George's Day, get it, white and red bead scoop, but also you have the chance to win a free place to one of our workshops as well. And I've got these little beauties. I've never seen these before and I am so excited to bring them to you. Have a look at these gorgeous shell buttons. You've got your flat rounds, you've got flower shapes, you've got ovals in here as well. And it's a little birdie called Carol has just mentioned to me that she's seen in a very popular high-end high street store 6, a pack of 6 of these buttons in this same colour, very similar in shape and size, 6 of them for £3 she's seen recently. You've got black ones as well, but on the other side they've got that shell effect. We've just had that confirmed. We've just had a little look online and a pack of 6 blue buttons, same shape, Pip, are they? Same shape, same drill holes, same size. Pack of 6, we've just done a double check. £3 for a pack of 6 in a very well-known high street store that does loads of things, doesn't it? Clothing, cooking stuff, and of course buttons as well. So a pack of 6 for £3. Bear that in mind because I have got such a variety of shapes and sizes. But what I love about this is there's a lot of the same shapes. That makes sense. So there's a lot of ovals. You don't just get one random oval or one random flower. There's lots of them. There's lots of each. And you know what I would love with these? How about, even if you're brand new and you've just got a stash of beading thread, just interweaving these. You know, that kind of vintage style antique jewellery, that kind of, the buttons are massive at the moment, aren't they? I've seen button earrings, I've seen buttons in headbands. They're absolutely everywhere at the moment. And these have got that gorgeous, because they've got that shell appearance to them. They've got that really nice rainbow of colour that just bursts across them. Really pretty. And I love, the flowers are just the cutest things ever. These are so new to us and they are going to just add a new dimension to your jewellery making ideas. What about if you were doing kind of bridal vintage, or even, you know, even if you've just watched Great British Sewing Bee and you've got yourself into that, you know, the fabrics, working with fabrics and embellishing onto fabrics or onto your pieces, then this is going to add a total new twist to your designs, isn't it? And if you've got shell at home, shell pearls, or if maybe you've got coral even, coral with this would go stunning, wouldn't it? Now, you're getting a massive pack here. You can see, I don't even dare count, but it is 30 grams worth you'll be getting. These 6 that I've got at the side here, like I said, the high street store that has got a pack of 6 blue buttons, same size, same shape that I've got over here. These just for £3 for these 6. Bear that in mind when I show you the price for this whole selection. Your price today for mixed shell buttons, 30 grams, it's a naughty one. £4.95. So in the high street store, if you're getting these 6 for £3, for an extra £1.95, you're getting all of these as well on top of that. And do you know what I love about them too? They're all double-sided because they are shell. You see, you've got your high sheen side, but then if I show you the back, isn't that really beautiful? So no matter what you want to go for, if you want to go for really organic, really boho, maybe go for this side. But if you want to go for something a little bit more maybe traditional, a little bit more quaint in a way. And also, people don't have to know their buttons, do they? If you had, say, a 4mm beads, gemstone, how about just with a little bit of monofilament or a little bit of elastic, just wiring it through here and having a genuine gemstone in the centre of your flower shapes? And then having it attached, maybe just that on an earring would be beautiful, wouldn't it? We have got so many buyers out there. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're having a lovely St. George's Day today. We have got Carol, Laura, Kate, Sue, absolutely loads of you, and plenty of you double buying on this as well. These are so, so beautiful, and I think we're going to give these as a challenge to lovely Linda. Linda and lovely Jill are with us today. Welcome, ladies. How are you both?
Yeah, we're fine, I think.
Very well, thank you very much.
Good. Jill, how are you feeling about your first day? You're on with us for about half an hour, 45 minutes all in all today, aren't you? How are you feeling?
A little bit nervous. I've never done anything like this before, so we're just going to have to see how it goes. But I love what I do, so hopefully that will come across on screen for you.
I'm sure it absolutely will. We'll find out a bit more about you in a little bit, Jill. But Linda, this is going to be your challenge. We know we like to pounce things on you. What do you think of this?
That's a pounce.
That is a pounce, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah,
that is a
beautiful.
shell pounce.
They are beautiful though, aren't they? They really are. And I will sort of reiterate what Carol said, because I looked in a haberdashery department of a well-known department store last week, and I saw 6 for £3.99.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was £4.99. I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. It was
for
it
6.
Was 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is amazing the price you can get for these sort of things. So £4.95 for a whole pack.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you got any ideas coming to you?
Yes, because I'm doing a little bit of Soutache this afternoon, so I've got some needles and threads with me, and obviously I've got some ultra suede as well, so perhaps we'll sort of make a brooch or something like that, perhaps?
I think that's a really great idea. Linda is on with us with a little bit of Soutache later on. I'm very, very excited. We've got loads of you out there. Hello, Frankie, Jackie, Carol. Welcome, everybody. What are you up to on St. George's Day, everyone at home? Anything exciting, apart from, of course, our competition, which is sort of St. George's Day related? We will have your first question of 4 within the next 20 minutes. There's 4 questions. Sissy. Sissy's had a good idea with the buttons. Oh, okay. Sissy's messaged in before. She usually has very good ideas. I use these types of buttons on my macrame designs. Oh, yes, I can see that working really well. That'll give a gorgeous bit of a different texture. And in fact, we've got macrame. Is that on Monday? Advanced macrame on Monday as well. So Sissy, make sure with Mark, of course. Can't wait to work with Mark again. So stay tuned for that, Sissy and everybody else. These are beautiful. They're going down a storm. There is a slight queue on the phone lines, but we will be with you. Answer in order. 0800 644 655. Stay exactly where you are. ZPGC 78 is the code on that today. Get them whilst you can. I'm going to move on because there is a bit of a queue, but stay on the phones. You do still have the chance to own them because it's a new product with us. We have got plenty of those on the show today. £4.95 for all of those buttony beauties. I know. Where are we going? Lovely. Bit of a preview. Hello. This is coming up later on. You know, I said we're doing the Opal showcase. This is my favourite strand of opal that we've ever had on the show, and you know what I'm like. To say that is a big deal. Please, lights and camera, don't let me down. Oh, hello. Hello, pretties. I want to tell you though, low stock on this. I'm in single figures just about on this. This is coming up for you a little bit later on. You are going to fall in love. That's coming up. So, natural beauties are we in now? So, in this next section, what I've got for you is our natural beauties section. So that is gemstones that have had no treatment whatsoever. Now, there's loads of different treatments you can have on gemstones, and a lot of them are seen as, you know, completely plausible, absolutely fine within the gem world. But of course, not everybody really likes them. Not everyone, everyone certain points might like to specifically look for, say, an emerald that is totally natural, or, you know, any other gemstone that's completely natural. I'll show you some of the treatments that you can have on gemstones. This is my treatment code list. So there is no serious governing body that says everyone who sells genuine gemstones have to disclose to you if there's been any treatments on their gemstones. It's not legally binding with any major governing body. However, we as a company decide to be completely transparent about it all. So what we have, a lot of the time down the bottom, you'll be able to see emerald from Brazil, which is the product I'm going to show you in a moment. A lot of the time at the end of that, sometimes in brackets, there'll be a letter, and that is a code that corresponds to a treatment. So if I show you some of the treatments on here, the codes are the letters at the side, and then the description next to them is of what these what these treatments are. So for example, heating, you'll see heating quite a bit on citrine, just to give it a bigger burst of colour. You'll see irradiation happens quite a bit with turquoise. Filling happens a lot with emerald and with ruby, because sometimes to find large pieces of emerald or ruby is pretty tricky. So if there is, say, hairline fractures within there, a lot of the time we'll fill it with something such as glass. And this isn't just us that do this at all. This is every single company pretty much will work with these. And then we also have our 3 own codes at the bottom. So these codes here are recognised. These 3 at the base are our own codes. So RE stands for reconstitutive, which is essentially when you're cutting gemstones, say when you facet them, of course there's bits pinging everywhere, isn't there, all the leftovers, as it were, of the gemstones. Sometimes these gems can be formed back together with all of those spare parts. That's known as reconstituted. And you've got DB and TP for doublets and triplets, and those are kind of in the same vein. A DP, the doublet, will be a layer of gemstone and then often a layer of glass or something clear on top, so the gemstone itself looks bigger than it actually is. And the triplets is generally the gemstone in the middle and then glass or whatever the clear substance is on either side. It makes it look chunkier, it makes it look bigger, but also you can then see the whole of the gemstone through it. So all of these are completely fine in the gemstone world, but sometimes people prefer their gems to be totally natural. This section now is all completely natural. It's essentially just taken from the ground, polished, shaped, and brought to you on a strand. So none of these wonderful codes will be in anywhere on this next section. So if you want the highest grade of totally natural Mother Nature's gift gemstones, then this is the time for you to get involved. Starting off with, I've already said to you, a lot of the time filling takes place with this gemstone, especially if you're going to be getting yourself larger pieces. Generally, if you see a piece that's over 3 by 1, it will have been filled. Generally, not always, because of course it's not on this strand. But you often will, just because due to the way emerald is formed, if there is even a little hairline fracture, of course it has to be filled just in case it would crack when you got it home and used it and wore it. This is totally natural, and it's got that beautiful, almost stereotypical emerald green to it. Because this is natural, you know that you're going to be getting the highest of quality. This hasn't got anything added to it. This hasn't had any heat. This hasn't had any filling. This hasn't had any resin. Nothing at all done to this. It's essentially, it's just out of the ground, shaped into these beautiful rondelles, faceted intricately along each of the rondelle corners and top and base and side. And we've brought it to you on a strand. 25 carats worth of emerald we have here. It's known to be one of the gemstones of hope, which is actually why it was highlighted in The Wizard of Oz. Emerald City, you know, they hope to get there, and once they get there, they are let to know that all the things they were already looking for, they had within them. That's why it's known as the gemstone of hope. And often it's known, it's said that emerald can help you see your inner self as well, which is why they used it within the book and of course within the film. 25 carats worth of this. It is completely natural. You're just getting emerald upon emerald upon emerald here. The price is exceptional. £47.95 to get your hands on something that you know is just emerald. Yeah, of course there's the tassels on the end and the beading thread, but you know what I mean. It's just emerald. There's nothing extra being added to this. And you can see the quality, you can see the luxury of this. The body of colour is just symmetrical throughout. This gorgeous, really delicious, delectable looking green. Do you know what I love about this? When you have this on your strand, I highly doubt, even for a moment, that anyone's going to question what these are. I can imagine someone looking at this and straight away, due to its colour and due to the way it looks, they'll know this is emerald. £47.95. I've already got a fair few of you on the phone for this. It is a really beautiful high-end gemstone. And if you want to get your hands on luxury for less, then this is your chance to do it, because you can't get more luxurious than a totally natural emerald, really. £47.95 for you today on this one. I've got another natural beauty here for you. Honestly, when it comes to Sunstone, there's something you need to look out for, and it's the gorgeous internal effect, sometimes known as eventurescence, and it's essentially this internal glitter. It is, of course, completely natural in our natural beauty section, but it is something that is, oh, so mesmerising, and this strand has it in abundance. Take a look. 85 carats worth of this. Now, if you haven't had Sunstone before, now could most certainly be your chance, because I think when you look at it now, you might think, oh, that's quite an interesting surface detail, those little speckles. Well, those are all internal. If you haven't had this before, they're all internal, and they look like little glitter. They look like pieces of glitter. When they catch the light, you might be able to see, actually, especially in this huge one in the middle, or the one next to it. Oh, look, this one next to my finger's got it. I've just caught the light right there. Can you see that glitter? All of this beautiful internal glitter effect, and there's golds, there's plums, there's sandy tones running through here as well. 85 carats worth of it. This is a 20 centimetre strand, and these are 9 by 5 to 17 by 9 mil on these. That is a huge piece in the middle, isn't it? 17 by 9. And do you know what I love about this? It's a sweet, isn't it, this? You've got your earrings at the end, you've got your bracelet charms, and then you've got maybe the middle 3 as your neckline piece, and you've got yourself a suite of jewellery there made. Let's take a look at your price today. It's a stunner. £9.95 for all of these. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and I'm halfway through, so I've got about, what, 22 on here? 24 actually. I've got about 24 on this strand for £9.95. That is exceptional. Don't forget, this is genuine gemstone. Again, this has had nothing added to it. No way 41p a gemstone. 41 pence. Yeah, we were talking about those buttons before, and we were saying it was £3 for 6. No, it was 6 for £3, sorry. How much is that working out at each? That's close, isn't it, to this, for a button in the high street shops. But here, 50p for a button, and you're getting genuine gemstone for 41p here. That is just spectacular, isn't it? And honestly, it is complete beauty. To have this internal effect, it's totally unique to Sunstone. It's so beautiful. And if you haven't owned it before, if you hadn't had it home yet, now is your chance. Are you 06? I'm RU06. $9.95 for you. White labradorite. Have a look at this one. We haven't had, I know white labradorite's relatively new to us. It was new this year, or at the back end of last year. And we haven't really had that much on of it, which is a total shame because it's such a beautiful and interesting gemstone. So the Labrador essence you've got in here is blue hues. I'm wondering if you can see it bouncing off the base of this one. It's a bit tricky in these lights, but if I catch it, can you see that blue Labrador essence shining through there? Which is lovely to see on this monochrome gemstone. It is white labradorite, of course, but you can see you've got those jet areas on some of these. And this is your graduated irregular drops. If maybe you haven't seen white labradorite in a while either, and you want to get your hands on it, you want us to get more in, well, treat yourself to this strand today. Because of course, when we've got really popular gemstones, we'll keep ordering them in. If you like them, then we choose and try our hardest to get more and more of them in stock for you at home. So if you do want to treat yourself to this today, get it home, especially if you've never tried it. Look at that blue. Isn't that spectacular? Just brushing off, and it's a relatively opaque stone. There is some clarity to it in a sense. The body of colour is a beautiful milky tone, and then to have this flash of blue. Actually, Joe, it reminds me of, you know, we always say you get sort of the lunar effect, don't you, with labradorite? Well, on this, you've definitely got that with that misty white moon colour, and then these beautiful lunar-like effects and these darts of blue. Like, you know, on those nights where it's a bit cloudy and the moon's just coming up and it get that blue sheen across the top of the clouds. It's got that effect to it, hasn't it? 70 carats worth of this truly unusual and beautiful gemstone. The price today is just £9.95 for you, and you're getting all of this on one strand. If you love labradorite and you haven't given this a go, well, now is your chance, isn't it? It's so pretty to have the monochrome effect to this. Look at the blue splashing on two of them now. I'm just holding it still. That's just how the light is cascading through the interior body of this gemstone. £9.95, UCRU04. This is truly an exceptional and exciting gemstone to work with. Again, completely natural. We haven't added anything to give this effect. That's just what Mother Nature's given us. And we thoroughly appreciate it. £9.95, 70 carats of white labradorite graduated drops. 6 to 9 mil for you today. Now, ooh, wow, turquoise. Now, I was saying earlier, wasn't I, about turquoise and about how it has, a lot of the time it'll have irradiation on it, a lot of the time, and sometimes it's for a variety of things. Sometimes it's for strengthening the effect of it, including the matrix, but this is totally natural. This is what real high-end turquoise looks like when you get it out of the ground and shape it and create these beautiful effects. Again, as with the emerald, it's got that stereotypical turquoise blue to it, hasn't it, which is just so exceptional. I love about this, for me, it's the body of the colour. There's no really intricate internal matrix within this, and the matrix, although it is beautiful, it's a gorgeous effect, it can give you those different flecks of colour, can't it? You can get browns and greys and blacks in the matrix, which is stunning, don't get me wrong, it's gorgeous. But if you want to create a piece that has just got this turquoise colour, then this is going to be the strand for you. 50 carats worth here of your graduated faceted pairs, 10 by 7 to 12 by 8, 20 centimetre strand. Turquoise is such a calming gemstone. Can you imagine this just on the beach? just with, you know, a little bit of a throw over on top of your bikini or your onesie. Onesie? That's not right, is it? Who's going to be wearing a onesie on the beach? You know what I mean? Like an all-in-one swimsuit. That's the one. That's the one. This is your price today. Totally natural turquoise. £29.95 for you. It's such a beautiful strand, and it's unisex again, isn't it? Because it's got that beautiful body of colour. They're not over the top in your face. They are just this gorgeous, natural elegance to them. To be able to say you own natural turquoise is not only a bit of a rarity, but it's totally and absolutely a treat. Especially at that price. £29.95 for this today. If you're planning on getting some interesting bridal pieces, something blue of course, if you're looking at making some festival or beachwear pieces, oh I love this for the races as well. £29.95, HCRU 76 today. Get your hands on it whilst you can. I've got another little beauty for you here. Ooh. Be prepared for the price of this. If you're happy to spend £30 for Sapphire, you need to get on the phone now, really. 25 carats worth of this multicolour shaded sapphire, and do you know what's so beautiful about this? It's got that gorgeous, almost cashmere blue sapphire colour in a lot of these areas. It looks just like the colour tone that wonderful Kate Middleton wears on her finger, of course. Beautiful wedding ring that she was given. It's got that really royal, regal sapphire colouring in this, but it's also then got these lighter shaded blue areas, almost these nautical tones to it as well, including some that's relatively clear almost. 25 carats worth. I said if you're happy to pay 30, you need to be on the phone, because it's not going to be anywhere near that. This is a lengthy strand, 17 centimetres, of one of the most high-end gemstones in the world. To be able to get your hands on this amount, and if we do it as a amount as well, because I always think it's interesting to show you just kind of how far it would stretch, how far it would go. If I show you it's a bracelet, if I take this to the front, I'm going to leave, you know, a centimetre for a toggle clasp. Just have a look at how far this goes. So this is all the way around my wrist. That's where the toggle clasp would be, or whatever, and then you've still got this amount left over. You've got earrings you can make with that. You could even make, what about a sapphire clustered ring with this amount? You could just do so much with this, and you can shade them out. You can keep them in the colour tones that they're in right now. It's totally up to you. But to be able to say you can create a sapphire selection for this price, I told you, way under 30, way under 30, in fact half of 30, £14.95 for genuine sapphire. Now we keep telling you the situation of sapphire is getting harder and harder and harder and harder to get your hands on it, and that is completely true. I know we've had quite a bit on recently, however that's purely due to the fact that due to shipping and actually getting our hands on the gemstone, it can take us up to and beyond actually 6 months to get our hands on anything. So say we went to the mine and we saw this, say 6 months ago, you've then got to get all the paperwork done, you've got to get the right yield, you've got to get the right amount, you've got to have all the work done on them individually, then you've got to have them shipped to another place to be authentised, then you've got to have them shipped somewhere else to make sure that it's all up to the quality, and then obviously you've got to have it shipped over here and it has to be put on our stock and all of that. It takes months and months and months, which is why we keep saying you're not going to be seeing sapphire that often in a very short time. It's purely for the fact that all the sapphires we've got at the moment, we got 3-4 months ago. £14.95 you need to stay on the phone to get yourself genuine sapphire. And don't forget, natural. Enough said. Enough said. £14.95. I've had a message in. Yes, you know, text message. Hello, text messenger. Hello, good luck to the new designer Jill. I'm sure you will be fabulous. Saving up to do a workshop with you all, looking forward to the Opal. Serena, you little love, she says, good luck.
Thank you. Thanks, Serena, very much for texting in and letting me know that you're supporting me.
Oh, bless, she will be fabulous. You can't wait to see her pieces. And I'm glad you're looking forward to the Opal as well. I have got a whole Opal showcase, something for every pocket in there. Seriously. Even a couple of strands under £6. And you might get your chance to win a place on a workshop. I have got a competition. It's my first of 4 questions for you coming up right now. So this is our St George's Day competition. You have the chance to win a red and white bead scoop and a place on Linda's new to jewellery makeup workshop. Normally costs £59.99, I think it is. You're going to get a place free. Do not worry if you're not new to jewellery making and you're thinking, well, I don't really know. I've not really done workshops before. I've done jewellery making for a while. You're going to learn so many new different techniques. You can have a go at macrame, you can have a go at kumihimo, you can have a go at wire work, and also you get to help yourself to all of the goodies we have here, bead scoops and everything you make you get to take home with you as well. And there's a beautiful buffet lunch as well. So this is your competition today. It is your St George's Day workshop and scoop competition. Keep your eyes peeled for 4 questions throughout the show and you can win a free place on the new to JM workshop and bead scoop. Keep all your answers safe, and then after our last question we will ask you to text in all 4, not 5, 4 answers, and one of you lucky viewers will be picked at random to win. So we're going to be selecting a winner at 4:45ish. We'll ask our last question a bit before that, about 4 o'clock. So from now until 4 you're going to be getting 4 questions. Save all of your questions. Don't text in until we tell you to, until we give you the last question. This is your first question, all Saints related. Your first question for the chance to win a free workshop and a bead scoop today. Which of these is St George not the patron saint of? Is it A, the Freemasons, B, the Scouts, or C, athletes? So again, which of these is St George not the patron saint of? The Freemasons, the Scouts, or the athletes? Ladies, don't give it away, but have you got any ideas? No. Don't text us in yet. Make sure you're writing that down, but this is the text number you'll need for later on. Write it down on a piece of paper. Any ideas, ladies?
Not a clue.
Not a clue?
Absolutely
Go on, have a guess. I'll let you have a guess.
Athletes, perhaps? I really don't know. Have I said what you wanted to say just then?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go with you then, yeah.
Oh, I couldn't possibly say, ladies. Write down that answer, and we're going to be asking you 3 more before 4 o'clock today, so stay tuned. You could win your place on a workshop and a scoop. Now, after the break, I am joined by my 2 lovely guest designers, and we're going to see brand new Jill's beautiful piece. Stay exactly where you are. After this break, we'll be back.
Are you new to jewellery making? Then tune in to our Designer Inspiration Show every day between 1 and 5 for our new 2 sections. We'll help you get started and give you all the knowledge and inspiration you need. Also, we'll be introducing you to a new medium every day. Whether you're a beginner or intermediate, we've got everything you need to get you started with a new hobby. the Designer Inspiration Show, only on Jewellery Maker.
If you miss a Jewellery Maker show, then simply go to our YouTube page where you'll be able to find hours of Jewellery Maker footage. Search by show, date or type. Alternatively, search by guest designer by using our playlist page. You can also find hours of tutorials with handy hints and tips to give you inspiration. Our YouTube page is updated on a daily basis, so you can access any show at any time. Stay in touch with Jewellery Maker.
Designer Inspirations, welcome. You are watching me, Becky. I've literally just read that off the screen. It kind of threw me off a bit. Welcome to Designer Inspiration. I am joined for this first section by two wonderful guest designers. I'm joined by lovely Linda and just great brand spanking new Jill. How are you both?
Yeah,
Very
fine,
well.
thank you.
Jill, give us a little bit of an idea of what to expect from your Designer Inspiration today.
Okay, today I'm outside my comfort zone completely. I wouldn't normally describe myself as a wire worker, but in the future I'm going to be bringing a new product in that I really specialise in, sort of mixed media type pieces rather than classic pieces. So today I've gone outside my comfort zone, and we've got a man in the moon brooch that could also function quite well as a pendant.
Fab. You're going to absolutely fall in love when you see them. You've given us a little bit of a sneaky drop there as to a new medium. You can't tell us too much, but give us a little bit of an idea about what to expect, when it might be, what it is.
Okay. Well, it's a sort of cross between maybe shrink plastic and acetate. It comes as very uninspiring sheets, white, black and clear, and then really you can do almost anything with it.
That's the sort of thing I like to work with.
It's just beautiful stuff when you start thinking outside the box. I've come from a background of crafting and paper craft and altered artwork, and it's used in that, so I've moved it into jewellery, and you can do huge amounts of things with it.
And do we know when to expect this?
Probably next month. It depends on it being sourced and all coming into stock.
And ending up with something beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it's very different.
We have got some pieces to show you in a little bit as well. You're going to absolutely adore. But before that, I will give you the chance to own the kit that we sent to Jill a couple of weeks ago. So if you're new to Designer Inspiration, what we do is get a kit of goodies together for our lovely guest designers to have a play with. They get a couple of weeks, and then we have a little look at exactly what they've made, and we do step-by-step tuition on how to show different aspects, or sometimes the whole piece. So let's give you the chance to own that kit so you can recreate some of the looks we're going to be working with today. You've got plenty of wire here. You've got the gold colour, 125mm, 10 metres worth of this. You've also got, I can't see this, hang on one second, I'm having questions in me. I can't see me description up there, my love. No, there's a lovely picture of Jill and Linda though, up there. Pip's just gone, that is not in my photograph. No, these aren't in. No, let's ignore those wires then. They're next to it, but I don't know why. I have got wire. I've got 10 metres of your 0.4 on this. I've also got 3 strands of beautiful gemstones. I've got this beautiful, look at this, clear quartz marquise shapes, top drilled. 50 carats worth of these, and this is 12x6mm. These are beautifully eye clear, really stunning top drilled. I've also got in here some rainbow moonstone, which actually has got such a beautiful moon quality to it, especially in the clearer areas of this gemstone. I wonder if you can catch it at home. You see in that centre one, there's a little bit of blue running past there. You get plenty more to the eye, of course. As I always say, a lot of the time with beautiful shillers and effects such as you get on this gemstone, due to, well, a couple of reasons. 1, due to the lights, and 2, due to the amounts of glass within the camera itself. You do get to lose that sadly a little bit at home, but get this home to truly appreciate it. You've also got, oh my days, look at this beautiful strand. How stunning is this? This is so bridal. This is your Snowfall white shell pearl in the 8mm plain rounds here. How bridal and sweet and fun is this? Totally timeless and ageless piece. But not only am I stopping there, if you like that rainbow moonstone strand, you're going to absolutely adore this 925 bezel I have. The quality of this is instantly recognisable. Take a look. It's 925 coating around the sides with this bezel set, and these two eye ends are also bezeled. You'll see that you can see the gemstone on both sides. The appearance is clear. Stunning blue sheen across this that just marries up totally beautifully with the strand of moonstone itself. So 3 strands, this stunning 925 bezel connector. The rainbow moonstone in that is 4 carats, and it's 23 by 11mm on this. And you have your 10 meters of 0.4 as well. The price should be £27.95, which is a little stunner for the amount you're getting. And you've got 925 and 10 meters of one of your favourites, 0.4. But this is Designer Inspirations, so we like to give you a discount. We're going to not charge you £27.75 today, just £19.95. You're getting shell pearl, you're getting rainbow moonstone, 925 with 4 carat rainbow moonstone. You've got the rainbow moonstone 65 carat strands and 50 carats of those beautiful marquise clear quartz as well. And 10 meters of 0.4. It's all genuine gemstones. It goes together beautifully, and not only do you get that, you get a discount of almost £8, and you get lovely Jill's designer inspiration as well. With all of these goodies, it's time to get your hands on it now. IHGC 73. We're going to be spending around half an hour, 40 minutes with Jill at this point now. So it's really important you get your hands on it right this very second, because we won't be with her for the full amount of time as we usually are. £19.95. Get it whilst you can. Get yourself on the phone. There's a stunning amount in there. Hello ladies, how are you?
Yeah, we're fine.
Well, thank you.
Good. Jill, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a 50-year-old lady who came to making jewellery about 2.5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
When I had to take time out from work with depression, and I had some psychiatric therapy that suggested I find something I could do that would interest me and stop me from thinking about things that weren't right in my life. And I found Jewellery Maker on the television, as you do, and life's not been the same ever since. It's just been so much better, and I'm back at work, fully recovered, but couldn't cope without being able to play with my beautiful gemstones. So.
And how often do you get to jewellery make?
3 or 4 times a week at least.
Oh, I love that.
I sort of get itchy fingers if I haven't done anything for more than a day or so. So yes, I definitely need to craft.
How exciting. And talk to us a little bit about the pieces you're going to be doing for us today.
Okay, I'm going to make the man in the moon that's at the front here. It's been set up as a brooch, and I've made a kilt pin style brooch back out of wire for its attachment. But it would also work well, I think, as a pendant, or you could put it in a box frame and use it as maybe a christening gift for someone if you wanted to, because the stones are so pretty.
That's a really gorgeous idea. I love the selection you've created. Now, you say you're not generally a go-to wire worker, but you have done a lot of wire here, and it's so eye-catching. What made you get onto this route?
Right, well, there's no threading pack in the selection I was sent.
Yeah.
But there was wire, so it was fairly easy to decide that that was the way I had to go, because I like starting with nothing and building from there, and so that's where we went. I was also sent some 1mm wire to act as a structural piece, because trying to shape with the 0.4 on its own is, it just doesn't give you enough integrity to support the design and make it a functional piece to wear long term.
The 100 metres of 1 mils at the bottom of your screen right now, it's £27.95 for 100 metres. IYJM, Jewellery Maker, 43 is the code on this. So it was your first kit that you got sent to you. How did you feel as soon as you opened it?
Well, Laura had asked me what I thought I might want to do, and so I'd asked for stuff to make a moon pendant with, and I was amazed by the stones, particularly the moonstone silver bezel connector, which is truly gorgeous.
Isn't it?
And it didn't fit in with the man on the moon that I had in my head, but I've used it as a centerpiece for a necklace with a long dangle, just because I felt it should be sort of center front of the design and being allowed to shine, really.
It's beautiful. And it really does just pull it all together beautifully, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and the television cameras just don't show the colour changes in that, particularly in natural light. The colour changes and you get flashes of sort of pinks and blues through it, so it's gorgeous. It's really, really special.
So where are we going to be starting with our man in the moon?
Well, we're going to start by shaping and making the frame. Okay.
Fab.
So we need to start with a good length of 1mm wire that you've straightened up off the royal, and I'm afraid I'm not really a measurer. I'm a sort of go for it girl. So
I like that.
So I take a sort of length and then work with it, but go for more rather than less, because you cannot add into the frame at this stage. So having taken a length, we'll pop that out of the way, and then to make life easy, and I apologise, Becky, if I catch
Are you going to get me in the eye at some point?
I hope not
That's
to,
fine,
but
don't
I
worry.
do have long lengths. I'm going to start at the top for the central loops. I'm going to use my round nose pliers. These are old JM ones, and they testify to the quality of all of the tools that JM sell, because they're just indestructible. And I'm just going to make a loop at the top by wrapping it round at the base of my round nose pliers, and then take those out. And at this point we've got two wires, one going over the top of the other, and that's the one I'm going to start with. So I'm just going to move these round, and with my thumb just gradually take my wire round into an arc mimicking the shape of the moon, to approximately the size that I want it to be. So I've got a shape like that.
So you're actually warming that?
I'm warming it, because the wire's beautifully malleable as you go, but just rubbing it with your fingers warms it and makes it even easier to manipulate. Now at this point, my little hook at the top, I'm going to dangle something from at the end, is clearly pointing in the wrong direction. So I'm just going to pop my round nose pliers in and kink it down to where I want it and reshape that top, so that I've got a better shape.
I see.
And it's still
So it's
not
almost
quite
like the
there
corner
down.
of the crescent,
It
isn't
is,
it?
absolutely. So that's better. And just take your time to get it to where you want. And now we need to make the nose and the mouth for my moon. So I'm going to turn it round to you, because I think it will be easier, and I think I can probably manage to make it up back to front to me. So to start with, we need to make the top arc. So I'm just going to pull that wire gently in, so I've got an arc, and curving it round as I go. So it's like this. And then I want a nose, so that your nose sticks out for a variable length. And it's probably easier to over-exaggerate your shape, so it doesn't get lost long term with the gemstones as you add to them. They will do. So although my nose is going to look on here is going to look huge, it won't actually be so by the time we've finished. So I've just swung that out, and I'm going to take my flat swipe nose pliers and just pull in. So I've now got a nose shape for everyone to see. I'm now going to imagine that this curve comes down to join up, and I'm going to pop my flat nose pliers in and kink it down again. So I've now got a very definite nose shape. And if you think about our face in profile, our lip goes out slightly, so I'm just going to tip that forward a little bit before bringing it back in to make my mouth. So let me just do that. So from here, I'm just going to pop back in. And you can notice I'm not really worrying too much about my frame being pulled out of shape, because at the end of the day, it will all come together and get bound together to make it more more stable structure.
Well, you're never going to make the same piece twice anyway,
You
are you, Jim?
absolutely
So
not.
It will look slightly
Absolutely. Now at this stage, if you try and just close this up, then you almost certainly lose the mouth in the design. So you need to leave the mouth open. So I've just put my round nose pliers in, and I'm going to pull my wire back towards me before going back to my flat nose pliers and kinking it back down, and then I'm just going to ease it in to the shape. So I've now got a shape that's a bit more like a man in the moon, with a fairly exaggerated nose, a mouth and a chin.
That's fab.
Okay, and at that point you can either use a bit of scrap wire or just twist the two ends together just to hold it in place. And then we need to start adding our pieces. So we take a length of 0.4mm wire, just something that's practical for you to work with. I'm mindful I've got these long tails, and long lengths of the 0.4 just get knotted in it and have you really, really frustrated. So I'm going to put my ends through and then just wrap it round my loop at the top 3 times to secure it. And I was left myself a short tail, but I find that actually sometimes just pulling with a pair of pliers just tightens things in neatly, and I want to do that 3 times.
Your pliers are really an extension of your hand.
They absolutely are, and I'm a bit of a miser. I don't like wasting stuff, so I often find that I'm working with short ends, and the pliers really do allow me to get that last millimetre out and finish a design when otherwise I might get very frustrated. And this short tail I'm now going to bring underneath through the top of the crescent and flick it back on myself. And I'm not going to cut it off at that point because it's currently stopping where I've wrapped it from moving around. Okay. And then we have a very simple figure of 8 weave. So I'm going to turn this to me because I can't do that one backwards, I'm afraid.
That's all right, don't worry.
So I'm taking my end, I'm going to go over my top wire and underneath, feeding it through gently. The 0.4 wire is springy, but don't worry about it, and just treat it firmly. Don't be afraid of your wire. And then, so as we go, so let me do that again. It's over the top wire, underneath my bottom wire, push it up, then reverse. So I'm going over the bottom wire and under the top wire.
Did you have any issues with the wire kinking or anything?
Yes, and I find that I often, when I'm doing, I just straighten it as I go so that I keep the kinks out as frequently as possible. It also keeps the wire soft and malleable, so it makes life easy for you to handle. So that's where we go from there. And I think watching me do this for the next centimetre or so might drive everyone mad, so I'm just going to move on to the next piece that I've got here for you.
Whilst Jill gets that one here she made earlier, do feel free to text us in. Jill's going to be with us for a wee bit longer, so do message us in if you've got any questions about this, or if you just want to let her know how it's going and whether how much you love the design. Do give us a text in JM Studio 60777 because Jill will be with us for the next little bit of time, so get in touch now.
Okay, so I've just completed a length of the figure of 8 wrap down to where my smallest moonstone, because the moonstones are slightly graduated on the show, will fit neatly across between the wires. So can we see that there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just going to thread that. Now I find it's easier for these to have them sitting on the wire, so I'm actually going to make sure my wire's coming from underneath over. I'm going to pop my stone through it, and shaky hands don't help this process.
And why do you like them rested on top? Is that just the appearance? Is it easier to work with?
It certainly is, and I've burred the end of that in packing it up, so I'm just going to snip the end of that off.
I think it's the same rule, isn't it, as when you're making a tiara. You always bring your gemstone from under the tiara band and over the top, and then the gemstone sort of sits in the place of the picture in your mind. in other words.
That's typical. I can't actually find the hole on that one, so let's just move to one of the others.
Some of the gemstones, just by the nature of being high-end gemstones, are slightly, the holes are slightly less bigger in some than others. So it's just a matter of finding the ones.
Absolutely, that's the first one in the 2 strands that I had, one for making up and one for setting up all these practice pieces. That I couldn't get a stone the wire through. So I've brought this now over the top, and I'm just going to wrap it in place. And I want it held there, so I'm going to wrap round twice before going back to my figure of 8. So over, under and over. And then I thought, I really need something that's going to shine as an eye. And I think
that's inspired.
The lovely shell pearls in the kit, but they were just that little bit too big. So I had to think about it, and I wanted something that was different. So I went to my findings pack, and there's a little beautiful flower-shaped connector there, or bee cap, and I thought, right. I don't want it sitting end on, I need it flat, so I had to think about how I could achieve that. So my wire currently is coming from underneath that wire. So I'm going to pop it through my bead spacer, drop it into place. I'm going to hold it flat with my fingers and then come over that top wire and underneath. And now I'm going to come from underneath and back through. So I'm sort of sandwiching.
You've sewn it in,
basically. I've essentially sewn it in, so it's going to sit flat for me in the design, and that way you've got it nicely wedged into place. And then I'm going to revert back to my figure of 8 weave. So that's over, so it's coming under, and by popping the wire underneath the spacer, it supports it, so it doesn't drift backwards for me.
You're sliding the wire underneath that. So
I absolutely have. If you look at the back, I've deliberately got them faced underneath
so it
for
is definitely
me.
supporting it, so it won't ditch in, will it?
No, absolutely. Because if you don't do that, it will tip.
Drop through.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to just do that quickly. It might not be as neat as I'd have at home, but take the time and make sure it is neat, because you want something to look beautiful, not cobbled together. You know, handmade, not homemade, really, I think is a good thing to think about. And then I want to go back to putting my gemstones on. So I'm just going to feed a couple of these in. That's sitting underneath, so which I don't want, so I'm going to pop that back to the other side, so I'm coming over the top again, and then 1, and the space for 2. Let's hope I haven't picked up that tiny one again. No, I haven't. And then pop them into place, and if they angle a little bit, then that just adds to it, and then
I
wrap
suppose you
them
can
round.
extend your frame a bit,
You
can't
can,
because of the wire being soft.
absolutely, you can do. But I felt that the loop gave me a little bit more of an eye shape, and it emphasised the eye by doing that. And then essentially you carry on doing that, adding the stones until you get to about here. So we'll move on to the next piece that's sitting here, where I've got to that stage. Now, it's easier to work from the smallest diameter down to the biggest diameter, and we've got a diameter change here, and I found that when I was carrying on, if I just carried on wrapping here, the wire started to slide down, which was really irritating. So at that point I went back to the other end and started again with another piece of my 0.4mm wire, and just built up using the same figure of 8 weave from the bottom. I just found that it was easier to do it that way, having
gives it less space to
frustrating
slide, doesn't
it does, having spent a frustrating hour and a half getting cross with it. Didn't quite go across the room, but it was frustrating.
It nearly did.
It did on at least one occasion, yes. So it's all about learning the bits that work for you and then working with them. And essentially it's the same figure of 8 weave all the way up until you can fit another gemstone in to here. And at that point, you need to think about what you're going to do. And by the time you've filled it in, you have a piece that looks like that.
Wow.
Which looks slightly different from where we were. Just let me pop those stones out. There should be another 5 in there. And you can see I've really tilted my connector piece at that end, and I've got these sort of long lengths here. And I wanted to add some length to this as a brooch. To almost look as if something was hanging off the end of it. So just straighten these up so we've got them. And then I'm sort of turned and just went free form really with making little curls to lock the 2 top pieces in so they weren't going to go moving for me, and to give some stability to the bottom of the piece. So I've got 2 wires, almost wide, wrapped round, one on top of each other there.
I see.
Yeah. And at this point, I thought about how I might want to put the dangly pieces so I could hang some of the clear marquee shaped stones off, because they were pretty and just asking to be hung to show their whole length.
Top drill does, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? Yeah.
So I've basically used my round nose pliers, made a loop, thought about it, decided maybe I want to now go in the opposite direction, pop my round nose pliers in.
So this has grown, hasn't it? As
This
you've
grown and
started,
evolved
yeah,
as I went. So they're never going to be the same. And don't end up frustrated by trying to make them the same. And I've got 2 there, and with a reasonable amount of length. And then I went to the other side and thought, right, I'll have another loop there, and maybe that one should be a bit bigger, and I'll put one over there. So I've now got 2 loops here, and I'll have another one there, and that sort of pulls the 2 towards each other. The 1 mil wire is lovely, but it is malleable and will stay malleable. So you do need to think about trying to support them. And at this point, I thought, well, I've probably got enough length there. I don't want to add much more, but I need to finish these ends off. Yeah. So I wrapped one of them round the other neatly as possible. So just literally pulled it round using the wire as my lever. And then I wanted to cover that because it's not very pretty attachment. So I cut off a length so I could make a coil. And I used the length of my thumb, which I happen to know is about 5 centimetres, because that for me gives me a nice spiral shape.
Just
to
make
cover
sure you
it.
keep it at 5 centimetres, because that's a bit of a dangerous measurement. It might end up as 3 centimetres with a thumb.
Yes, no, losing half a thumb as a surgeon might not be such a clever move, mightn't it? So I'm now going to snip that down, and then I'm going to make a spiral here to cover that in. So round those pliers in as tight as possible, and I don't want anything poking out of the top, and literally just rotate my wrist round until they work, until we've created a circle, and carry it on. And at this point I'm going to swap to coated pliers, because otherwise there's nothing worse than stripping the coatings off your wires, and these JM pliers are just fantastic.
They're wider as well, so
they
it gives you more purchase on the coil, doesn't it?
Yeah, you need. It gives you more purchase without actually having to increase the amount of pressure you've got. And literally, all I'm doing now is rotating that in to cover.
So make a nice dream catcher as well, wouldn't it?
It would do, yes. And now I'm going to do the same with the other side, so just to take the 2 in together. So back to my flush cutters, and I wouldn't be without these. I know they're more expensive, but I really wouldn't be without them. They just get into places that some of the others don't do, just won't reach. And I'm just going to go back to coiling. So complete that one as a first loop. Back to these, and most of it, people I think will find that they can coil better in one direction than the other, so go with it.
Yeah,
so if it's,
you can always flip it then when you get back to
absolutely, absolutely. So I flipped
it.
this to the back so that I could work in my preferred direction. It's just that I find that movement easier to follow. So now I have 2, and I think that's maybe a little bit too long, and I'm just going to give it a little squash and twist. So it's very much a design that you can adapt to your taste.
That's fab.
All right, and then we need to think about adding our little drops. The tiny head pins will go
Yes,
through
the
both of
2.25
the
head pins will, won't they?
both of the moonstone and the drops, but I found it easier to work with the wire and use a tiara type technique.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm going to feed my drop through my wire a little way, and then I'm going to pull my ends through and pinch them over the top, like
So you've
that.
got a little triangle.
So I've got a little triangle and my stone's caught in it, and then I'm just going to twist for the length, however long you want the dangle to be, really.
and how
that
tight
point.
are you doing that twist?
It's tight enough so that the piece sits solidly. It's not sort of, it will move, but it's not as fragile as the 0.4
Single
wire
bracer.
on its own, and it's just so it feels right. And I know that's a difficult thing to say, but I think
tactile.
it is a tactile activity. And I've got an end here that I'm going to snip off neatly at that point, and then I'm going to take my pendant and I'm just going to pop my long tail through. I'm going to pinch the two together, and then I'm going to take this long tail and wrap it evenly down the length of that. Again, that's supporting that and reinforcing that area before cutting that off and making sure the ends are flattened in so there's nothing to catch anyone. So literally I've got my flat nose pliers and I'm just giving it a little rock to put it in. And you can carry on doing that to add as many dangles as you want through any of the spaces. So on my main piece I've got one added to the top, and then I've got 5 added on the bottom.
I like it when it's to the top. It almost looks like it's raining on the moon.
Absolutely.
Oh, it does. You're so right.
Is it a rainstorm?
But I also think it would look nice if you maybe had some tiny shells, star-shaped beads. That would work just as well
good
to,
idea.
to do it. So that's from there. And the next bit is to then to create the brooch back, which, because there weren't any brooch backs here, and I was determined I was going to have.
It's good to see them made.
They seem to be quite difficult to get hold of with reliable suppliers, and I know we've had, but Jewellery Maker have had them in.
Yeah, and
but
when they come in, they go straight out.
they
You're quite right.
do. But equally, they come in set lengths. So being able to make your own is a good tool because it allows you to adapt the length for what you want. And I've taken a rather excessively large piece of wire here, but you can trim off. You can't add in at this stage. So I've got my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to come round, and I'm going to come back round on myself again, so that I have almost created a little spring like that. Yeah. And having created the spring, I'm now going to move that out of the way while I create the next piece of it. And what I did was take my moon, work out where I wanted to wire it in from and to, decided that that was the length that I needed, and then needed to make a hook. So I worked out that I would want perhaps about an inch and a half maybe, and folded my wire in half, and then with my flat nose pliers just gradually squash them ever so gently together. I didn't quite complete it at the end, and the reasons for that will become clear as we go through. So I've gone back to my piece of jewellery, I've popped it on where I want it attached at the bottom. That's where I need it to attach at the top there. So at that point I'm going to take the wire that I was working with and just wrap it round a couple of times just to hold it in place. This is going to be hidden anyway, so from there, and now I'm going to trim that, and now I need to flatten this down so it doesn't catch into anyone, and then I'm going to curve this over so I've got my hook, and then flip that back.
It's like making a kilt pin.
It's absolutely like making a kilt pin, and then I can cut my length wire to the length that I need to flick into post.
And then you're going to wire that onto the back.
Absolutely, it's literally just a case of sewing it into place along the back with my point foil wire.
Yeah, excellent.
So that way you have your
when you've
completed
just cut your
process.
end off there, the one that goes in that little loop, would you advise cutting it off at an angle?
I do. I cut it at an angle, and I use
Yeah.
these very nice flush cutters, and I've got a set of the Jewellery Maker files, so I'll file those off as well. Certainly they go through the organza bags without damaging them. They go through easily through woolen articles and things.
That's a nice technique.
Yeah. And it works quite nicely. And if you wanted to give it any strength, you can always hammer it, but don't hammer over the curved bits, and that will make it more stable for you.
And then you've managed to create this beautiful man in the moon piece. Jill, thank you so much for showing us that. How beautiful. We've had a few text messages in for you. How did you find it?
Not as bad as I thought.
Good, I'm glad. Ooh, it would have been worse than I thought. Is this really your first time? Could have fooled me. Well done, very clear instructions and lovely jewellery, and that's from Dorothy.
Thank you, Dorothy.
That's really, really nice of you. Thank you, Dorothy. It is a gorgeous piece that you created. Hello, you lovely three. Hello, Jean, you lovely one. Jill has a lovely voice and is explaining the technique so well. I shall have a go later on. Good luck, Jill. Love from Jean.
It's lovely, isn't it?
You do have a nice voice.
Thank you.
It's a lovely lull.
Thank you very much.
Very relaxing. Thank you very much for sending your messages. I've got a question for you. Hello, ladies. Jill, do you always sketch out your designs before making them? That's from Michelle. Good question.
No, I never sketch before making them. It all comes out of my head.
Does it?
Yeah, I look at stones and they sort of, a bit like Linda, they talk to me, and then I make, I know it seems silly, but they do. I just look at them and think about what I want to do, and it depends on the mood that I'm in, and then go with the flow. Yeah, and some bits go across the room, and some bits get broken up, and
I think, to be honest,
but more often than not, they work.
You're sketching them in your head, aren't you? You're sketching them in your mind anyway, and I think the more that you proceed along making jewellery with wire, the more that you will actually create those images in your own head and follow that image, rather than perhaps... It might confuse me sketching them.
Was it? I'm a sketcher.
I might feel that I needed to make it exactly like the sketch, whereas in my mind it's a bit more
fluid.
That's my excuse.
Yeah, in my head, if I tried to work from a sketch, I'd then get even more frustrated. Whereas if I go with the flow,
it does work for some though.
It does. But it's what suits you as a person, isn't it? And I'm sure for some people, sketching is the right way.
Now, you were talking to us a little bit earlier about this new exciting thing we have coming up, and you've brought some pieces for us, haven't you, that we can have a little nosy at. Now, if you've only just tuned in, Jill is going to be launching with us really soon, in the next couple of weeks or so, a brand spanking new product. And she's brought some of her finished designs with her today for us to have a little look at. Now, talk to me through the inspiration on this piece. It's stunning.
I love flowers, and they're really on trend this year. And much as I love the cut flower stones that gems do, I wanted something that was a bit bolder, that I could customise to the colour I wanted for my clothes. And so I started using the mouldable film that I was talking about earlier, and they've basically been cut and shaped to make the flowers. And we've got one where I've just cut a simple, using the die cutting tool and a die, cut the dove out and used that to attach. And so it didn't get lost. I've used a piece of aluminium I've punched a hole in behind, just to allow it to show off the filigree wings that are on that particular one.
Stunning.
It's nice because you can use a lot of gemstone with these.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And then we have, and having said I didn't do wire, I had this idea in my head, following, of all things, a Hannah Roxbury workshop with perspex, and I'd used the bird there to cut out of perspex, and then I thought I can do this in wire if I really set my mind to it. And I wanted like a sort of almost a Japanesey, Chinesey feel with little flowers and
like cherry blossoms.
Cherry blossoms,
cherry blossom feel.
Absolutely. And I knew I'd got some cherry blossom type stones, so that's that piece.
And
then we've got that one which sits asymmetrically, which should so it hangs using the same material. But you can think, oh, there's lots of pinks, but I like pink. But actually, you can cut them in any stage, and it doesn't have to be flowery or bird-like. You can go really, really contemporary. So I've got just some plain earrings here.
Wow.
That are just
That's
cut
so
and then coloured.
Very Mary
They're absolutely, so it isn't a one style activity at all. So I'm looking forward to being able to come and show you what to do with it and how to colour it.
That will be really, really soon. That'll be coming up with you so soon. Jill, have you had a good time so far?
I've had a lovely time, thank you.
Good, thank you so much for joining us today. Your pieces are beautiful, and I cannot wait to see more of this.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Linda, we're coming back with
That's
you
fine.
in about 4 minutes.
That's fine. Okie dokie.
But I need to let everyone at home own your kit first off. There's a table there, Becky. First off, there's been a mistake in the question. Questions, why I order. Who was that an impression of? Why I order? Anyone? New who? Why I order? Scooby-Doo. No, I don't know. Anyway, not the point. The question that we asked you earlier was which of the... Anyway, it was wrong. Whatever, I'm going to confuse myself. This is the right question. But don't worry, because no one should have been texting in anyway with an answer yet, should they? You've got to wait till all 4 have been here. Make a note. Which one is St. George the patron saint of? Is it the Freemasons, the Scouts, or athletes? Which one of those? Don't forget, make a note of it now. I've got 4 questions coming up, and you've got the chance to win your space on that new 2 Jewellery Maker workshop. It's normally about £60. You're getting it for free, and a red and white bead scoop as well. Picked at random. So that's your first question. I've got 3 more coming up before 4 o'clock, so make a note of that now. Which one of those? Athletes, Scouts, or Freemasons? So, we're going to do a kit for you now for Linda's first designer inspiration. I tell you, I've got designer inspirations coming out my ears today. I've got loads of them. This is our second designer inspiration kit of the day, and I've got another one coming up. First things first, I adore this charm. It is charming. Isn't that beautiful? But then look, I love that already. Footstep in the sand. Oh, remember, footstep in the sand. Isn't that beautiful? So you've got this charm, you've got Wiretastic, purple, my favourite, 0.8. If you haven't had our purple wire before, I always think the lights in here don't really do it justice. It is that famous chocolate colour. It's that exact copy pretty much, it's beautiful. 10 metres of the 0.8, 10 metres of your 0.4. You've got a findings pack, your silver findings pack, which has got loads of goodies in there. Everything that you can see on screen, including a few spaces that you could use as the man in the moon eye as well in there too. And you've got 3 strands of loveliness. 260 carats of lavender amethyst in these huge faceted rounds. 10 mil these are. That gorgeous lavender. What a delicate, almost little kiss of lavender there, isn't it? How pretty. You've also got in here, as well as this, I absolutely adore these. How fun are these? 80 carats worth of your iolite in these plain drops. 4x2, and this is 11 by 4 mil, 28 centimetre strand, and these silver shell pearls. Oof. 8 mil on these. Isn't that like drops of silver? Isn't that stunning? That's not grey, that is silver. This is such a beautiful bundle you've got together. So you've got all of these goodies. Your price on this should be £39.55 because you've got 3 strands, 20 metres of wire, 115 findings, and this charm. Honestly, nowhere near. Where? I don't know. Nowhere near. I don't know, I was on a rhythm. £24.95. That truly is nowhere near, is it? At all. So let's reiterate. Silver shell pearl in the 8 mil. 80 carats of iolite in the drops on a 28 centimetre strand. 260 carats of your lavender amethyst. You've got 115 findings. You've got this beautiful, remember, footprint in the sand charm. 10 metres of 0.8 in the purple and 10 metres of your 0.4 in the silver as well. All of these goodies you've got today, £24.95. That is a massive saving, isn't it? £24.95. That's stunning. It's exceptional deal for you today. £15 are you saving? Wow, that is stunning, isn't it? If you think about £15, £15.45 Pip says in my ear. That's a really cracking deal, isn't it?
It is amazing deal, isn't it? Unfortunately, I think you just mentioned that I didn't get the shell pearl, didn't you? In my thing?
Yeah, you didn't get your hands on it.
Which is a shame because I would definitely have used it.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It is. It's glorious. It really is, and it goes well. It's the highlight, is it?
Yeah, I love that highlight.
It's stunning, isn't it? And the charms as well.
Did you get a selection of charms?
I got 2 charms, actually.
Well, I never.
So you.
Can we check on that, lovely man?
Are, we've got 3 here, haven't we, in this bundle?
Apparently, we have 3 charms in this bundle, gentlemen.
In this one we have. I had 2.
We'll look out for you.
I'm sure we'll get it made.
We'll get confirmation in my ear in a moment. People check. Lovely, jubbly. So, what are we going to be starting with?
We're going to do this heart. Only simply because I did it as part of a boutique the other week, and I've had loads of people saying, "Can you remind us how to do this heart?" We did it. We covered it a long time ago, and I don't think anybody's done it particularly recently. So I just did get lots of people saying, "Can we just cover that heart again?" So I thought that when I got this bundle, and I wish I'd have had the silver pearls because they would look stunning. I mean, the amethyst is glorious, but the pearl against the eyeliner, I mean, isn't that gorgeous?
I think it's gorgeous.
It's stunning.
I love
so
those.
I will make one up as well using that pearl.
We've had confirmation that there is 3 charms. Now, lovely Linda's got 2 extra ones here, which I presume are part of it. If I show you that, so you're not just getting that footsteps in the sand one, you're going to be getting this love heart charm. So it's a heart shape, and then it's almost got this love banner on either side. So if I spin it for you, there's love on the other side as well. And I love this one. How cute. Sing. But then a little note on a stave as well. Isn't that adorable? So you're getting 3 charms. You're getting sing with the stave, you're getting love, and you're getting the footstep in the sand with the remember on the back as well. So that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they really are useful, aren't they, these charms? I love charms with a little message written on them as well, because if you want to make a little piece, just put it as a little signature piece onto even a stretchy.
Yeah.
They're lovely, aren't they?
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, really nice.
I think that's the basic piece of jewellery that all of these high street, you know, the P company and all, that's where they started with stretches and what a one charm dangle, didn't they?
Yes.
And
yes,
it's really taken off, and everybody's doing it. So it's a great idea.
I do love these charms. That sing one's beautiful as well. I'm just thinking it's exam season, isn't it, for a lot of youngsters at the moment with the GCSEs and stuff. What about as a little charm for a good luck bracelet for a music exam or something?
Definitely. I mean, they just shout sentiment, really. So
they really
it's a nice
do.
message.
Lovely. So we've got
the heart now. This isn't going to take long, but unfortunately, again, I'm having to work in monofilament because I would have been able to have done it in the wire. I would have been able to do it in the beading thread. But when we've got gems of distinction, I like nuggets, particularly of this standard. I knew that it was going to be probably impossible to work with either of the other 2 mediums, because there are points on making the heart shape where you have to take it through twice.
I see. Okay, so it needs to be good size.
Yeah. So normally monofilament, if you're in sort of any doubt whatsoever, monofilament will work every time. It's just a little bit trickier to work with because obviously it's a bit bouncy, but don't worry about its strength because it's fishing twine strength, so I could probably hang myself from the ceiling in it. Well, probably not, but I don't mean from my neck. I just mean from my feet.
From my feet.
Yeah.
Just some sort of exercise to kind of stretch out. Yeah.
Right, now fingers crossed I don't go wrong with this weaving, so I'm going to say it as I do it, which is probably a good idea when I'm teaching. Take a length, a good length, as Jill said, a good length, whenever you're working with any sort of non-given amount. You know, some recipes will give you exact amounts that you need to work with. I'm not such a great believer in that. It's a bit like a recipe. I think it could do with an extra egg. So I'm a bit made like that, I'm afraid. I'll either wreck it or make it better. Take on a good length of your monofilament and thread on. In this case, I've put on 4 of the amethyst, but you could use the pearls because shell pearls will have a slightly larger drill hole anyway than cultured pearls. So there's a lady was talking this morning about the benefits of shell pearls and cultured pearls. I adore shell pearl. It's still a very, very, very viable gemstone to me. I love it. I love the neatness of a shell pearl somehow. Right, so what we do now is we take the one end of our monofilament, so I'll sort of say as I do it, take the one end of the monofilament back through its opposite bead. So if in your head you're thinking you're going to draw these together into what will be a triangle. As I say, bear with me because monofilament and gemstone holes aren't the greatest thing to work with. It's like working with animals and children. But you draw them together. Sorry about the flowers on my dress, it's not the greatest thing to wear neither. Draw it together, so we're starting off with essentially what is the very beginning of a ladder weave.
Okay.
Okay. So if you then place that on the desktop or whatever you're working on, and then say to yourself you've got an upper thread or an upper monofilament, which is the one furthest away from you, basically, which is on top. Sorry, the camera flicks it round so it looks like the bottom for me. But it's the one on top, we call it the upper thread, and the one coming out underneath here, we call it the lower thread. Then on the lower thread, we thread on 3. Now, in normal ladder weave, we thread on 2 on one side and 1 on the other. But for this particular shape, it works out. There's a trick to it, and I haven't worked out why it happens, but there's a definite trick to it. I can't see why, but you have to thread on 3.
Okay.
And then on the lower, okay, so 3 on the lower thread, and then pass the upper thread back through the last bead you've threaded on the lower thread. Okay, so we'll pass that through there and pull that through. Okay, now as we pull that together, we get essentially what still looks like a ladder weave.
Yeah, it does at the moment.
Yeah. But in a ladder weave, we would have done 2 on one side, 1 on the other, and threaded through one of the 2.
So that's almost going at a diagonal,
exactly, isn't it? Yeah. So there is a trick to it. So it's thread on your 4, go through 1, thread on 3 on the lower, and then go through the first one of those 3. Now we're going to thread 3 on the upper. Okay, so it's not that difficult to follow. But if you, like I did, got sort of carried away with the technique being ladder weave, that's how I did it. And I thought, well, why isn't it working? So there's a definite trick to it.
Isn't that funny?
So we thread on 3 on that upper one, and then, as we did before, we take the other one, which is now the lower one, and thread that through. Let me bring it over here. Thread that one through that last bead that you threaded on the other side. And then, again, pull it together. Now I've just got fingers crossed I get the shape I'm looking for, which I have. See, that's a completely different shape altogether than you would get from a ladder weave.
A normal ladder weave, yeah.
So essentially, that if I flip that to your direction and pull it tight, you can sort of see that is the inner skeleton, the inner sort of template of weaving around now with the chips.
I see, to do the heart.
Yeah, it's clever, isn't it?
That's really clever.
It is. It's something that I've tried to work out why it happens. But if you do it wrong, you can't get that shape. You just can't. If you do it like the ladder weave, it won't happen.
How funny.
Yeah, I tried it because I thought, no, I can. It must work, but it doesn't.
It doesn't.
No. So now we've got a lower thread, which is obviously the one facing me.
Okay.
I'm ever so sorry about the fact that you can't see it, so that's why I'm chattering such a lot. And then the upper one. Now on the upper one, we start to thread on. You can use very small gemstones for this. If you wanted to do 4 millimeters in this centre structure, you can. If you've got some gorgeous little 2 mils to make the little bumps on the heart and that, and then you could make up quite. If you made those up in 0.25 wire, you could then have quite a good firm structure, and you could link them all together, and you could perhaps do like an asymmetric drop through with little hearts. And you could make them. Obviously, you could get them bigger by starting off with 4s, going on to 6s, going on to 8s, going on to 10s,
and maybe even graduate.
Exactly. So it is something that I think that you can, once you know the technique, which is obviously quite simple. You can then work on with lots and lots and lots of gemstones of varying sizes and varying shapes and see what you get. That's what I like about this.
It's the same technique.
It's the same technique.
Gemstones will make it
exactly. It'll just
totally
it'll
different.
give it a completely. Essentially you'll have your heart, but it will be a completely different look of a heart. You know.
So fun.
So do try that, because I think you'll quite enjoy that technique. Now on this upper wire, which is the monofilament, which is exiting this second one, the last one on the second row, or it might look to you, I'm sorry, as the first one. And then just thread. I think, bear with me now while I thread. This was a difficult one to Blue Peter to prep, to be honest. So I thought I won't do it,
stages.
And you'll all learn how to thread a bead. I think I threaded 9. What I would say with whatever bead you're using, because we're doing that top bump on the heart now. I've forgotten. I mean, I think there is a gemstone. What's the gemstone term on a gemstone for that? I know Vicky was telling me what they call it. So
like the crescent, the curve.
Yes, the curve on it. When you're doing a curve, no matter whether you're doing it with irregular shaped nuggets or whether you're doing it with completely exactly the same rounds, whether they're plain or whether they're faceted, use an odd number, because you will have that top point on the heart curve, and that's where the odd one will sit, and then it'll give you that nice gentle curve either side.
Good tip.
So I've threaded on 3 so far. I should have carried on threading while I was talking. So I've done, again, when you work this one, it's simply a matter of seeing how many you need to put on according to how high you want that curve on the heart. I mean, you know, some of these stylized heart shapes are quite exaggerated.
Yes, especially.
So you can do that. You can go and you can have it lower on the other side and have a real stylized look rather than a uniform look on it. So play with it, it's fun.
It's nice that it's the same technique, but your imagination can still take you.
Exactly. This is the first time that I've actually used gemstone nuggets, because Becky put this together for me. And I thought, oh, right, well, this is going to be a first for me, doing a heart with gemstone nuggets. So, and I was pleased with it.
And
so
how they
we
were
have now
they
got
to
3,
work
4,
with?
5, 6, 7. Great, absolutely great. The only thing I would say, and these aren't as irregular as some, is perhaps there's some, obviously, you can see from this little stash I've got here, there's some that are a little bit longer than others, and then there's some that are a little bit fatter and more teardroppy look. I would say just put the longer ones to one side, because they are top drilled.
Okay.
So it's probably better to have the more sort of tubby ones, as it were, the Teletubby of the gemstone. So we've got 7 on.
Yes. Tinky Winky, Dipsy and Iolite.
I've just been reintroduced to Teletubbies with my grandchildren.
Oh, with your little ones. It's still on, isn't it?
Yes, it
going
is.
for
Yeah,
years
it
and
has,
years.
Yeah, too many years. It's scary how many years that's been going on. Right, now what we do, I've now got 9 of the nuggets on this upper thread. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull that curve round. Now, in order to do that, we take our monofilament and we miss this one, which is our template of our curve, and this one here, which is the second to my left, which I think might be the second to your right, is take the monofilament. Don't worry about it sort of coming apart, because as you pull the monofilament together, as you work round, it'll all go back in. It's obvious that it's going to sort of, you've got 2 ends of the monofilament, just pull them, and you see what happens. It just
it cuddles it.
Yes, so it does a little bump around. Let me flip it round so you can see the first of that. And to be honest with you, it would look really pretty if you only just nuggeted the one side even. So as I say, this is something I find is really quite a lovely shape. In fact, it's infinite how many different goes at it that you can have and have different forms. Right, so now what we've got is we've got this top one has come through this second one. Now what you need to do now is that one that you've just taken through that second one, take it through to the next one to the left of it, okay?
Okay.
As I say, you can do this with the wire, but I'm not too sure that the wire will pass through the amount of times you need to pass it through the nuggets, but do give it a try, because it would give that a little bit more stability in the middle while you're working on it. Once it's knotted together at the very end, it's fine, and let's face it, it's lying against your body.
Yeah.
But this is for demo purposes only, but you've got some wire in the pack, and this is 4. So have a go with the 4 mil, and it'll give you a little bit more, especially if you're doing it for the first time. It'll give you, you won't be so scared of the shape then. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work back down to this lower one, okay, this lower thread here, and we'll come back to that one in a little while. Now just thread on 1 nugget, and you'll see now exactly where we're going. This is the one that's doesn't want to show me its hole.
I love highlight.
I love it with amethyst. It's just glorious.
Especially that lavender colour. It's really pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's a stunning colour for this time of the year. It reminds me of those sweets, Parma violets. Makes me very
yeah.
Right.
I don't like Parma violets.
Did you not? Oh, I did, and I love violet cream chocolates as well.
I don't even
Violet
know what that
creams.
is.
Yeah, violet and rose creams. Have a box of those every Christmas.
Do you?
And they taste like violets, and they taste like roses as well. If you can imagine the smell of those flowers, they taste like the smell. Right, so we've done that bump and we've gone through. Now we've got this, as I say, this lower wire which is coming out naturally from this gemstone here. We pop on 1 nugget and we take the monofilament then through the next amethyst. Okay, which is the bottom one of the last 3 that we did. Okay, and just pull that through. And as we pull that through, that'll sit snugly into the side. See, it's sort of now forming that shape, that heart shape.
Exactly.
We're getting an outside, an outline now, okay? And then what we do now is we've got the point of the heart down here. So again, thread on. I tried 2 actually because I thought that I might fit 2 in, but I decided on 1 because they're sort of quite teardroppy, these nuggets. But if you've got some nugget chips, if you've got some chips, you probably could get 2 on. I was looking at some little appetite chips upstairs today, and I probably would have got 2 of those in these spaces here. So again, try that. See what the look looks like. So that's the point now, the bottom point of the heart. So we need to start working up the other side. So next amethyst in the run, basically, take the monofilament through and put it through, and then we're doing a mirror image now. So we pop on 1 more highlight to balance the other side. Do you know, this would look stunning if you've got multicoloured chips, multicoloured gemstone chips going around the outside of
mixed tourmaline or something.
Oh yes.
Oh
yes,
aye.
Absolutely.
Oh aye.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine that going around the outside of a self colour in the middle, all those gemstone colours going
and
around.
I love it.
Yeah, and me. Right, so we've now come round, we've got this one in here, we've got the point down here, and we've come back up through this gemstone here, and we've popped 1 in. Now we're going to go from that point now, and we're going to work the mirror image for the top of the little curve, okay? Yep. So again, thread on 9 of your highlight nuggets. As I say, just use an odd number to get that top point. I've done it with, I don't know what it is, I've done it with even numbers, and it just doesn't look right in my head. You know, you're talking...
Yeah, it doesn't give the focal bit, does it?
No, it doesn't, and you wouldn't think there would be a focal bit actually, but there really is, because everybody knows what a heart shape should look like.
Definitely. It's like with flowers sometimes, isn't it? If you do like a 6-petaled flower, it doesn't look quite right.
Yeah. No. But you know, I am a great believer in, I mean, particularly with flowers, I mean, I never try and make a botanically correct flower. I make them all stylised, but it's something about the heart shape. It just needs to have that proper look, unless, as I say, even when you're doing stylised heart, work in odd numbers, because you still need that bump.
Bump?
Yep, the bump. Right, 7. We're nearly there. I'm just looking to get my small ones, otherwise it'll go a bit awry. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the one, the last one. Right, so now we've got the other side of this heart, so we need to bring this down. So what we do, as we did over here, we miss this one, and we go into this one here, which is the one above the last highlight that you threaded on singularly.
I see.
Okay, so we'll just get the monofilament to go in there.
And the monofilament's great because it's gone through some of these sort of up to 3 times actually.
You'll get monofilament through an amethyst like this, which is what is this, 10 mil, is it?
Yeah, the 10 mil.
Yeah, you'll get it through 10 times.
Fab.
Definitely.
Fab.
So now we've actually come out, and as you can hopefully see there, I apologise if you can't, but there we've got both the threads are coming out and they're both together. You see, they're both together. One's coming out the iolite and one's coming out of the amethyst. Now, you could now quite happily really knot that off. Okay, pop a little bit of jewellery glue, nail varnish, clear nail varnish on it to consolidate your knot. You could do that, but I advise that you don't.
Okay.
What I advise you do is to take either whichever of the ends of monofilament that you want, and because, as Becky's just said, the monofilament will go through, it'll go through the nuggets at least 3 times. I won't do it now because it'll take forever, is to work one of the strands all the way around the perimeter.
Okay.
Okay, and you'll be able to do that. It's a little bit fiddly, but trust me, you'll be able to do it, because at this moment in time we haven't knotted, so it's still quite a floppy thing, so you'll be able to move the gemstones apart. So work it all the way around, and then when you get back to the place where you started, obviously knot it off, and that's the heart shape.
That is wonderful. I can see why you've had so many requests in for that. It's just a really interesting little twerk to it, isn't it?
It's one that we did probably about 3 years ago for the first time, and I don't know why, it foxed quite a lot of people, as it did me in the beginning. And I think it was that ladder weave concept, to be honest. But as I say, make sure you thread the 3 gemstones on and the other 3 gemstones on, and go through the one with literally a bare side from the other side.
It's just beautiful.
But
thank you so much for showing us that. What are we having from you next?
Oh, we've got some Soutache earrings.
Soutache. Soutache earrings for you, Linda. Thank you. You're such a gem, aren't you? Well, I'm here, gem. See what I did. I'll give you this kit back. There we go. You have got your chance to get your hands on the last couple of these here. Oh, there's the charm as well. Do get your hands on that kit if you really enjoyed it. Now, my Opal showcase. I have got something for every pocket pretty much in today's show. This is my Opal showcase. We have had so many questions about Opal, letting us know when we were going to have it in. This is your Opal showcase, and honestly, the variety I've got is exceptional. Now, as I'm sure some of you may know, Opal is by far my most favourite gemstone on the planet. It's mystical, it's interesting, it offers you something new. Every time you look at it, it's captivating, and for me, it's just totally intoxicating. I have got such a variety for you here. It's exceptional, and I'm going to start off with that strand I gave you a sneaky peek at earlier. Now, single figure low stock I'm on this. Oh, it's not there. It's on my bar. Oh, friend, why weren't you chatting to me? Now, what I will say is, within this, you'll be able to see the colour play spheres. So, opalescence, sometimes we'll think of it as the body of colour, and you get this beautiful mixture of tones. This has got that, but it has got a lot of the spheres, the spherical colour play, which is where you get these really interesting different spots of colour. In fact, look at this one behind me. Can we see this one here? This is the effect I have got on every single one of these I'm about to show you. What I will say though is, due to the lights in here and due to the lenses in the camera, you're not going to get nowhere near as much colour play, but trust me on this, it's the most spectacular opal I have ever seen. And it can be yours today, but you've got to be quick, because we've got single figures left. This is just mesmerising, isn't it? Can you see in some of these the colour play? You've got this opalescence, this rainbow appearance internally in each, but genuinely you are not getting anywhere near as much as this. 10 carats worth here of this Ethiopian opal. Now, Ethiopian opal is, you can see here more of what you're going to get at home, but even then, you can see more of it now. Opal is one of those kind of gemstones that you need to take out on a day date. Opal likes to be out in the sun. She likes picnics. Why do I now feel like I'm doing sort of a dating website for Opal? Opal, She likes walks on the beach, sandwiches, out in the sun. Genuinely though, you're going to get the full impact of this stunning strand as soon as you get it home. But I am in single figures of it, and I can see a few of you waiting on the phone lines. Ethiopian opal is just spectacular. It's one of the most famous locations to get your opal from. We know, and I've shown you before, the areas that we mine this. It's cliff faces a lot of the time. Very limited stock now. I've got a couple of people already purchased this actually. Let me get your price in, okay? Let's get your price in. £46.95. I cannot tell you how much of a wonderful deal that is for this strand. Look at it on this slide, this VT that's going around now. And let me say to you, it's even more impressive than that in the flesh. Genuinely. I've got one left. Stop it. I've got one left. This is fastest finger first. Now, I started off with in single figures, but it was nowhere near one. £46.95. I am YY71. This is it's going to be a sellout. You're going to have to be quick on this. It's going to be a sellout because I can see there's a couple of you waiting on the phone lines. Someone's got it in their basket. You need to check it out right now. In fact, there's 2 on the phones, 2 with it in baskets, and I've got 1 left. I don't name and shame, but Yorkshire, Merseyside, the Channel Isles, you need to click out your baskets ASAP because the first person to click to check out is going to get this. £46.95 is going to be a sellout. That is the most exceptional strand. You're going to adore it. Yorkshire, Merseyside, come on Merseyside. Channel Isles, that is sellout. Thank you very much for staying where you are. That's another sellout for us today. I'm going to offer you this beautiful open with this stunning fiery caramel tones running throughout here. This is your fire opal, 30 carats worth, and isn't this just fiery? You've got that image almost of where this is actually mined. It's mined up in, a lot of the times, areas in Mexico that are extinct volcanoes, and it has got that kind of molten lava, hot colour tone running through this, hasn't it? These are your plain wheels, and do you know what I love for this? Stretchy. Male and female. Isn't that just simple as that? Genuine opal bracelet. And you've still got loads and loads left as well to create a set of earrings, or maybe a tie pin you could do with this. 30 carats worth of your fire opal plain wheels. You have to be quick. Your price today, £17.95. I told you I've got something for every pocket. If you love £17.95, get your hands on this right now because I've got some even lower than that in a bit. But nowhere near as much as this colour play and this colour amount running through each one. You've got your saffrons, your amber, burnt ochre, gorgeous, almost rich reds running in here as well. Fire colours galore in this fire opal. £17.95 to get your hands on it today. Mined in Mexico, up in huge cavernous areas where erupting volcanoes used to exist and no longer do, but you still have the history and that colour running through here exceptionally well. How do you feel about getting your hands on this boulder opal, which I just want to show you straight away as a neckline? This to me is a neckline piece and you're done pretty much. Obviously you have to restrand it. Isn't that exceptional? This is so beautiful. Do you know what I love about boulder opal? The lining, the banding that you get within it is just so exquisite. 125 carats worth you've got in here, and I adore that you've got this really delicate, almost periwinkle blue running through. Just total juxtaposition with this really strong grey colour as well. It's beautiful to mix in with perhaps, I'd think about mixing this in with that iolite actually. What would you think, Linda?
Definitely. To me it shrieks that it would love to live with labradorite.
Oh yeah,
because
you're
of the,
right.
you know, because of the opal's got opalescence and labradorite's got schiller, so I like to see like the gem. Yes.
What about
like
the coated as well?
The coated, even
Brand new
better.
strand. This is coming up for you in a little bit
Look
with
at
the
that.
labradorite. It is a really gorgeous
Oh, that's
coupling,
beautiful.
isn't it?
That's beautiful.
Really spectacular coupling. Oh, I love that idea, Linda. Let's get your price in. Boulder Opal, these are your extended drops. Your price today, £14.95. 2, 4, 6, 8 I've got on my strand. It is done on carat weight, but I've got 8 on my strand. £14.95. And these are long. These are elongated all the way to 39 by 13 mil. Isn't that exceptional to get this large, huge drop? This to me could be an individual pendant strand. I could get 8 pendants off this. And wire wrap galore, or beading thread galore even. £14.95, SARU 42. Maybe you missed out on the other Ethiopian strand. Maybe you didn't manage to get your hands on that last one. This, maybe it was out of your budget. This is more likely to be in there. Again, Ethiopian. These are mined from cliff faces. So if we have a little look at the photo of where these are mined, so can you see this huge cliff face, this one that is on the side of the screen here? This picture is taken 320 metres above sea level and 30 metres below the top of the cliff is where you get your opal from. That's the area that we'll be getting this from. So you see that little box there, that square box? That is the area in which we go and get our hands on this opal. And the area is going to be enlarged on this next slide. So remember that section there? Oh, the picture's playing up. Come on, picture. There it is. So that is that box zoomed in. So can you see that little ridge, that lip? The miners have to go into that. It goes in around 1 to 2 metres. And you should be able to see on the next slide an enlarged picture of that. So there they are, look. They creep into there. So already that's 30 metres down from the cliff. And they're actually going in there to get this gemstone out. So when you remember that first picture, that is literally just a zoom in of what you're showing, of what we're seeing now. So this is a serious process to get these out of the grounds, and it's totally worth it, I'm sure you'll agree. All of this is done to get out this beautiful gemstone. 40 carats worth of this. It's an intense mining process, and this price is exceptional. £17.95 to go through all of that work to get your hands on these beautiful, beautiful gems. It's totally worth it. And it's something that I think you can add that to your designs, you can add that to your pieces. How about letting people know about the mining process of this beautiful Ethiopian opal? Let them know about it, paint them the picture. £17.95 is your price on that today. I promise you something for every basket. This is one of those. This is opal, this is a double strand. I could actually do that again, but I won't, or else I won't be able to take it off. This is your Australian opal, 170 carats worth. Now you might have been able to, you might have watched the Gem Hunters that was on, oh my goodness, colour play. You might have seen Gem Hunters, well no, it wasn't called Gem Hunters, was it? What was it called? Treasure Hunters. And you have got colour play on this, you just can't see it. I've got pinks and blues, you just can't see it under these lights. And on there, they actually showed you a gentleman mining for Australian opal, and essentially a lot of the time you have to actually abseil down into these holes sometimes to go and get your hands on it. But again, it's a process that they go through to get their hands on this. 170 carats worth. Let me show you this massive strand, 85 centimetres worth on this. Almost a metre essentially. I cannot believe that I'm getting colour play off this, but I am. It keeps grabbing my eye. And I'm so upset you can't get it at home. What about this one here? Come on, that is so powerful to the eye. No, yes, a little bit, a tiny bit. Tiny bit. It's amazing that you're getting colour play off this, but it just goes to show the quality. Remember the quality and the quantity, because this price says none of them. Your price today, £5.95 for you on a double whammy strand of Australian opal. This is such a deal and a half. It truly, truly is. What about these in macrame? That'd be spectacular. What about working with these, even just as a twist like this is a bit of a talk. What about as a cluster? A nice cluster ring or even a cluster centerpiece to a necklace. £5.95. HFYY 80. 170 carats worth. I told you I'd bring you a strand for under £6. I told you I would, and here it is. A double strand at that, actually. A double strand. So if you think about it in separate strands, our strands on average, so we do, you know, we do 15, 16 centimetre strands, and then we also do 40 centimetre strands. So an average of that is 30, isn't it, about? So average 30 centimetre strand, you're getting 85 on this. So that's like a double strand and a bit. So even if you think of this as a double strand, this is just 2 strands. It's not, it's way longer. But even if you thought it's just 2 strands, that's £3 for a strand of opal. That is so special. And in fact, you know, we were talking about those buttons before. We were saying you couldn't get 6 buttons for £3. You're getting a strand of opal, if you think of this 2 separate strands, for £3. It is loopy, 170 carats worth of a mystical beauty for just £5.95. Let's mix this up a little bit with some of your pink opal. Do you know what I love about this? The shape. I quite like to do a mosaic type thing with these, actually. This is your beautiful pink opal in these graduated plain squares. So you can see they're so squidged on, I can't even properly bend these to show you. But you see they're flattened squares. I'm showing you almost in a button style here. And these are all squidged on together to give you a strand with the most beautiful pinks. You've got baby pinks, you've got bubblegum pinks, you've got pops of almost petal pinks as well. You've got really natural and neutral colours, but then all of a sudden you just see this pop of pink. What do you think of this strand, lovely Linda? Go nice with your outfit, actually, my love.
Yeah, no, I love it. And it's strange, this morning I was sitting having a cup of coffee and I was on my tablet, as it were, and I was looking at jewellery, okay, which is what I tend to do most of the time.
Is it?
And a sort of fabulous necklace that was turquoise. It wasn't opal, but you could do it with the opal. And it had 3 strands coming down the neckline, and then it had 3 graduated loops, but the loops were in graduated squares.
Wow.
So as you graduate from sort of where you will actually tie your loop off, the tiny ones coming round to the bigger ones, and make them quite a long loop.
Yeah. And
then they sit together at the sort of that join, and it looked absolutely stunning, all in the one gemstone.
Wow.
And I thought I would never have thought of doing a loop with a square cut flat gemstone, and it really worked.
That sounds fab. Almost.
Yeah, exactly. It
like
really,
this.
because if you thread it onto, say, monofilament or say some of the beading silk, you know, with already the needle attached, it will soften that. That's on a temporary strand.
Yeah.
So it will soften if you put it on monofilament or something. And it looked astonishingly beautiful.
That sounds gorgeous. I love the sound of that. And you're right, it does work beautifully.
Yeah.
This is going to be a sellout, because if you remember correctly, at the beginning of the show, I said, I've got a couple of strands for you under £6. This, shockingly, is another one that's going to be under £6. Your price today is going to be a sellout. Get yourself on the phone. £4.95 for genuine opal. This is so spectacular. And have you noticed? Natural. Mexican opal for you today, £4.95. It is so beautiful and simple to work with. And you know what I love? Although it is pink opal, it's not over the top pink, it's not super girly pink. It's got that kind of dusky pink to it, almost that vintage pink. If you think Kath Kidson, it's that kind of muted, relaxed pink. It's not over the top, it's not overpowering. £4.95, and this shape as well is usable, isn't it, for male and female jewellery?
Yeah, definitely.
If you were to create something with this, what would you first think of doing? Say it was going to be for male jewellery.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, male jewellery, because that when you said male or female, I saw immediately of sort of a leather corded surfer type bracelets.
Oh, I love that.
It was just a little, say only an inch of them.
Yeah.
And then the leather cords, a couple of 1 mil leather cords coming from it. And I think that would be quite guy-like, wouldn't it?
Totally.
'Cause I mean, you know, I think that's the right type of pink for a guy too.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of dusky. It's
Yeah.
not over the top feminine, is
Exactly.
it? It still is, but it's not too in your face. I love that idea. I can totally see surfers in Cornwall.
Yeah, I call that golfer pink, and I'm not knocking any golfers out there, please. But you know, golfers tend to wear pastels or quite bright sort of. And I call that golfer pink because my husband doesn't actually play golf, but he's got a couple of pink shirts, and he says, "Oh, do I look a bit pink?" And I said, "No, it really, really suits you."
Yeah, I completely agree with that. It has got that beautiful mix to it, and $4.95 as well.
$4.95.
You need a couple,
More than
really,
two,
don't
yeah.
you? You probably need about 4.
Yes.
You, seriously though, at home, I've got some people buying 4 of this, which is not a surprise because you're getting 18 centimetre strands. There's no spacers here, is there? This is just opal on opal on opal on opal. No spacers at all. I've got Antonia, Arthur, Gillian, Carol, Jennifer, Nicola, Mercedes, Julie, Janice, Linda. Linda, have you bought a couple? Oh no, from Cheshire.
But Linda could just buy Linda one if she. I'll pay her back. Because I won't get one.
I pay back.
I'll pay you back.
There's loads of you with it in your baskets. There's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 of you in the baskets with it. Not 9 of you in baskets. Could you imagine? Why have I got this picture now of people just in baskets like that? Let me out! With this in your basket, so do check out to make sure it's yours. £4.95. It's going to be one of the deals of the day for Opal, isn't it? Seriously. I've got another question now from me quiz. So you had the first one, didn't you? About what was he the patron saint of? I hope you made a note. This is your second question. There's going to be 4. You've got the chance to win a space on Linda's jewellery making course and a bead scoop. Which band sang Flexing, I'm going to have to sing it, aren't I? Flexing vocabulary runs right through me. Linda, your face is too amazing. I couldn't even finish that.
What with no? Well, I'm catching flies. Do you know what, Beck? If I stood here for the next 10 years and you pulled my fingernails and my toenails out, I could not tell you. I couldn't come anywhere near close, which makes me feel really old.
No, because that song's how old? Quite about 10 years, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I was busy that
Right, I'll
day.
give you a clue. It's to do with our theme today, so it's a saint's theme.
Oh, I might. Yeah, okay. Might
you have it?
I'm not going to make myself look a fool, but I might get it.
I love
yeah.
it. Please tell me in the break though, because if you were wrong, that would be too hilarious.
That's why I'm not saying it on air.
Just in case.
Just in
So that
case.
is your second question. Write down the answer to that. Who sung that song? Keep it with you because you've got a chance to win a space on Linda's workshop, which should be £60 normally, and you've got a bead scoop as well in there. Now, after the break, I've got more. Stay where you are.
Get involved with Jewellery Maker by sending the studio a message during our live hours. You can send a text to 60777 and start your message with JM Studio, or alternatively, go to our website and click on Watch the Live Show, simply type your message into the box and press send. Make sure you stay tuned in case your message is read out. Get interactive with Jewellery Maker.
Join silver clay expert Natalia Coleman and take your jewellery making to the next level with this exciting workshop. Natalia will guide you through the various steps of gemstone setting in silver clay and how you can create some beautiful pieces with the addition of some of your favourite gemstones. The full course includes a selection of gemstones, use of all the relevant tools, buffet-style lunch and refreshments, a tour of the studios, a chance to meet the presenters and a visit to our studio store. All of this for £119.95. For more information, contact our call centre on 0800 6444 655.
When shopping with Jewellery Maker, you can add as many items to your order in one day and only pay one postage and packaging charge. We have 2 delivery options. Standard delivery at just £2.95 and you'll receive your parcel within 4 to 6 days. Or opt for our premium delivery at just £4.95 and you'll receive your parcel within 3 to 4 days. Happy shopping with Jewellery Maker.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Designer Inspirations. Thank you very much for tuning in today. We're heading over for something super Soutache with lovely Linda in a little bit. Do not forget our competition is still going on. You've had your first 2 questions now. You need to keep those questions written down. You've got 2 more and then I will get you to message in with the chance to win a space on lovely Linda's workshop. You get some goodies to take home with you, don't you, Linda?
As much as you can possibly make, you'll take.
Oh, I love that.
I mean, literally on Monday, the ladies really rattled through and really took a lot of jewellery home.
Really?
So yeah, it's in your time, but by the afternoon we're making jewellery properly.
I love that. And when it comes to designer inspiration, you have got a feast in this collection here. Soutache is such a popular technique at the moment, isn't it, Linda?
Yeah, and growing, definitely. It's definitely growing.
So what is the backing of Soutache? Where is it all kind of led from?
It really is a very old sewing technique, right back 16th century. Basically when it started was decorating clothes, decorating furnishings, fabrics, moving on into probably military uniforms and things, all that sort of twirly cording that you see on epaulettes and all that, and then in the Edwardian era very, very big on bustles and bodices. And then I used to do it years ago, just doing soutaching on fabrics without using any gemstones or anything, and that now it's very huge in Eastern Europe. In Poland there are the most exquisite Soutache artists. In fact, I was looking to go on a workshop. I said to myself, I think I might go on a workshop. He said, oh, that's good. I said, but it's in Poland. It's not just a day one. But this lady does 3D Soutache. Oh, wow. And it's just astonishing.
And you've got the chance to give it a go today with this kit. Now, there's sort of everything you need to get yourself started really in this, isn't there?
Absolutely, yes.
You've got 2 sets of your Soutache cord. Now, this is the one with the ditching, and that's imperative for this technique,
yes,
isn't it?
That's what. This is a specific Soutache cord made specifically for Soutache. There are other braids out there, but this is one made specifically for jewellery, and it has got that ditch, as you say, which is what we sew through.
3 yards on each of this, and it's 3 mil. You've got this gorgeous cream colour and then this really deep camel colour as well. You've got your backing ultra suede as well, which we'll be showing you exactly how to use, and it just gives you a really finishing look to a lot of your pieces, and actually can work as your basis as well, in a sense, especially if you're making bibs. You've got in here your needles as well, 4 of these needles, and these are size 10, so they're really nice and fine, aren't they?
Yes, they have to be, really, to go through the gemstone as much. We want it to go finely through the Soutache cord, but we also want it to be able to pass through a gemstone. That cord that you're looking at the moment isn't one that we sew with. You can if you want, it's a bit like monofilament, but if any of that cord shows, it'll catch the light and you'll see it. I see. But we specifically put that in to grow the bundle, should people love the gemstones, love everything else, but didn't particularly want to Soutache with it. And I've done a piece using the gemstones and using that fire line.
So this fine wire, you've got 50 metres of this, which is 164 feet, apparently. You've also got Gemstone Central, and honestly, when I said it's like a bit of a buffet, this is serious amount of gems you've got in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strands. Linda, with these you are spoiled.
Rebecca. No, actually, I am not taking the accolade for this fabulous kit. Rebecca put this up for me because I didn't know I was doing today's show, to be honest. So she put the kit up for me, and when I got it home, I thought, oh, that's what I would have done if I was that clever.
Oh,
isn't it stunning?
It is absolutely beautiful. Well done, Becky. Pat on the back. Becky upstairs, not me like chatting to myself, like, oh, well done, Becky. Becky upstairs puts a lot of our kits together. So you've got in here your 6 different strands. Let's start off with the seed beads, shall we? These are all 2 mil. You've got 12 carats of your white quartzite, 12 mil of your yellow crazy lace agate in the plain rounds, 2 mil again. You've also got in here all of these absolutely beautiful shells. You've got this white South Sea shell pearls, and these are 6 mil. You've also got your peach shell pearls, and these slightly larger at 10 mil. And finally, you have your Grecian gold shell, which is just exceptional, 8 mil on these ones. So let's reiterate. You've got your golden shell, you've got your white South Sea shell, you've got 12 carats of your white quartzite, 9 of your peridot, 9 of your crazy agate. You've got 6 yards in total of your Sutache cord with the beautiful cream and the camel. You've got your backing suedette. You've also got your monofilament 50 meters, and you've got 4 of your Sutache needles as well. The price should be £27.05, which actually is exceptional for 6 strands and all of these other goodies. We're going to make it better. The kit, your price today, every penny we can, £18.95. I cannot get over that. I am flabbergasted.
Yes, it's flabbered my gast.
What is a gast?
I don't know.
Me neither. Wowzers! And honestly, when you look at what Linda's created, I know it says earrings, Soutache earrings, but we're not just showing earrings. We're showing you loads. If you think just about the 6 strands, yeah, go on, Pip. Right, so if we think just £15 a strand, without taking into account all of that Soutache, all of that backing, all of the needles, the monofilament, etc.
The gemstones are gorgeous. Absolutely love them. I love that necklace. I don't say that very often about my own jewellery, but I absolutely love that necklace.
L-O-V-E, love. I totally agree with this. And that's not even the main piece we're showing today.
No, but I thought because Rebecca had put in the monofilament, etc., I thought, well, let's put something together as well, just in case you really want the kit, but you don't particularly want to Soutache with it, because it is so beautiful, the kit is. So I thought, I'll make that necklace, 1 pair of Soutache earrings, and another pair of sort of quite long opera style earrings, but I've still got shed loads left.
Wow. That is
the tiny
so
ones.
exceptional, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So how much is that per thing then? If we take into account the needles, the 2 packs of the Soutache, the monofilament, the suede, and the 6, £1.72.
I mean, you wouldn't probably get, don't quote me, but I don't think you get the packing of needles for that.
That is
Coco
loco.
It is,
wow.
Those Grecian gold pearls are beautiful. And there's peridot, isn't there? The
Peridot.
tine is a peridot. And is it jasper, the little
crazy agate.
lace agate? Do you know that's out of all the strands in that bundle, that crazy lace agate, 2 mils are they 2s or 3s? 2s. They are beautiful. I'm really getting a liking for these tiny gemstones against the backdrop. They're a backdrop for larger gemstones. Obviously, you can see with that necklace, you know, just putting different lengths between whatever. Very random that. And but they also centre stage. I don't know whether to say I like the little ones the best or I like the pearls the best. There,
they just work too well together.
They just work too well together.
They really do.
Yeah.
And I adore what we're going to be looking at making today.
Yeah, the little earrings. I haven't got round to backing them. I do apologise. I meant to do them last night. But I don't know why I couldn't do it last night. My my needle finger wasn't working, so I thought I'd rest it for this day.
Good
It just
idea.
wasn't. I think I don't know why. It's a silly excuse, isn't it? My needle
I like that you have a needle finger though, Linda. That's why we love you so much. You have a needle finger.
I do.
I like this.
Yes, and it was a bit out of action last night, so I thought.
So
On Sutache before, then we are slightly going to jump a stage, but you can refer back to via YouTube to other shows where probably every show or every certainly every workshop I do, I will show this the starting point of this what we call koala face, right? Because if you look at any Sutache design, you will as you learn more Soutaching, you'll see where the design started, and invariably it starts with the the koala face, right there, which is that deeper beige there with the golden pearl in. Invariably it starts there. Invariably it's with rounds, but it looks stunning with other shapes, with rectangles, with teardrops, briolettes. It looks beautiful, but that is invariably where Soutache starts and then grows its components from. So if you track back onto YouTube, you'll see how that is made. Quite symmetric Soutache up till now, but Soutache, by the very nature of using cord, can be really asymmetric.
yeah, and I love that. I've never seen a piece like this before.
That's like my journey on asymmetry in Soutache. But if you imagine those can be interlinked, you can make various numbers of that component in various colours and then just jigsaw them together, and it would be really pretty.
Brilliant. Do you get your hands on this kit? Because there is about 7 of you actually with it in your baskets, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, I'll wait till the end of this. It's better to get it now, because actually I've got people buying 2 of this kit, and that doesn't happen often with kits, does it?
No, I don't blame you at all.
Often with kits, but there's a couple of you who have purchased 2 of this today. £18.95. It doesn't surprise me at all. Do get your hands on it whilst you can.
You'll love it, I mean, as well.
It's gorgeous,
The shell
isn't it?
is glorious.
Absolutely
Right,
beautiful.
let me just get my needle through my ditch. So you start the design with this koala face, okay? As I say, backtrack onto YouTube, even look on internet. I'm sure you'll find instructions for that. There's 3 very good books out there for Soutachers. I advise that if you're interested in it, that you buy them. One's by a French lady and one's by an American lady, and they're both excellent books. So this is where the design starts. And then to add to it, to start the asymmetry, what I've done on this, sorry, I should tell you, I've actually put 4 layers of Soutache braid around that pearl, okay? When you start, you'll probably add 1 layer at a time. But when you get probably on your second piece of Soutache, third piece of Soutache, you'd be adding the braids in numbers of 2 upwards, okay? So I put the 4 on together. Just takes a little bit more time. But effectively, what you lose then, you've gained when you put the 4 on, because you haven't got to go back and put another 3. And then, purely because it's asymmetrical, I decided on the next part of the design to use 3 strands. So to add to the side, sorry if I can just pop that up, we're going to add to this side here, okay? So we're going to start in that little corner. That's great camera work, thanks ever so much. We're going to start in this little corner here where I'm pointing to. So that's where the short end that I'm going to talk about gets sewn in. Okay. Is take 1 at a time, okay, and pop the needle from the top in through the ditch, which is very obvious. You can't help but miss it. Take the next one and have the same amount of excess on that end. Take the third one, have the same amount of excess on that end, and pop it through the ditch. And then if you can sort of parallel them up, sort of stack them as it were, and then when you're doing Soutache, just go slowly, gently, because there's lots of things to get tangled up in. People have seen me do it before will know I'm really good at getting magic knots and tangles. So just pull it through very gently, a millimetre away, take it back and hit all ditches. Try not to go through your knot, but you're heading for that general direction, and pull it through and let it stack again. And then what we need to do is to get the koala face design and to get those 3 stacks sitting on top of that one. So we're going to gently pull it in. Don't worry about the knot there, because we'll trim that off later, that little bit of excess cotton that's coming through there. We'll trim that down later, and there are the little peridots sitting on top of there anyway. So then we get the ditch, go through all 3 layers. I think sewing a button on is quite tactile. You can actually sew a button on, and strangely enough, you have a big piece of fabric, and your needle comes through the hole magically. You're not sort of going, oh, where's that hole from underneath? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. It just draws.
Yeah, well, that's what will happen with soutaching as well, eventually. So just pop it in, push it through, and catch the levels of soutache on the outside, okay, and come through to the back. And then, again, slowly, 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 pull it through. And then keeping your stack, come out through the back, head for the ditch.
In the carrot.
And I can feel I've
colour.
hit the ditches in the cream colour, because it went through really, really softly, really gently and smoothly. And then just keep easing it round. Easing it round. Now, you can do small stitches if you want, and you can do slightly larger stitches if, like me, you're a little bit impatient, because I know that I'm going to put beads on that anyway, so it won't be shown. Obviously, the best thing to be using would be a matching thread, just in case.
I've got a question about thread and materials, if you're all right for me to ask it now.
Of course I am.
This is a text that we've just had in. Feel free to text in as much as you like today. We like hearing from you. Hi, JM Studio. From Norma. Hello, Norma. Says, hi, Linda. Brought the nylon.
Bought
Nemo
the Nemo
nylon
on Monday.
On Monday. Can I use this for Soutache?
Yes.
Lovely the designs. Hi, Becky. Hi, Norma.
Yeah, yes, Norma, you can. A nylon thread is exactly what I'm using here. Certainly you can, yes. I'm not sure whether they come in gauges, I'm really not, but if they do come in gauges, then go for, I know that the pearl silks come in gauges, but look for something around 0.2. Okay, which is roughly like the same gauge as a 0.25 wire.
Okay.
You want to keep it fine, but yeah, the Nemo nylon thread is fine.
Oh, brilliant. Have a go at that, Norma. Thank you very much. I got another one. Did you say my love? My love. Thanks for ringing.
You can answer that one.
Shell pearl is essentially, the easiest way to describe it is we get the shell of the outside of a pearl, for example a mollusk or an oyster shell, and what we'll do is a lot of the time we cover it with something called mother of pearl beading, and it's basically a substance that acts a little bit like nacre in a sense. It's not, but it's a little bit like that, and then that just builds up and builds up and builds up until we have these. So essentially shell pearl is a shell that has substance added on the top of it to give it more strength and bigger size. So I hope that helps, Pauline.
And it's beautiful. It really is.
It is wonderful. And do you know what I do love about it? You can wear it any time. Pearls, you have to be a bit careful with, of course. You can't wear them to the gym, you can't have perfume on them. Shell pearl, it will take knock after knock after knock. It is really strong.
And I can honestly, categorically tell you from my own experience, before I worked for Jewellery Maker, I used to buy glass pearls. Okay, because I love pearls anyway. And I used to buy glass pearls, and I think I've told you before, Becky, but the 10mm glass pearls that I was buying was 60p each. I was buying them loosely, and they were 60p each.
Actually, you've got a 10mm on here for a whole strand, £1 something, we worked it out.
Exactly.
Wowzers. Do check out your baskets, you four, with it in your baskets, please. It's better to be safe than sorry, especially as people are purchasing 2 of this today, and there's people on the phone already gone. $18.95 for you today for all of those goodies.
Right, so what we're doing, we're just working around. So I'm coming back from the back through the ditch of the koala face, and then I'll bring the needle out, which is fine, and then working we call it them inside and outside shaping stitches. I'm doing an inside shaping stitch now because I'm pulling it in.
I see.
So keep on handling the Soutache cord and keep it sort of parallel to itself all the time. Find the ditch in the lower one, the one nearest to the koala face. Find the ditch in the center one and find the ditch in the top one and pull through. Okay, we're just easing it around around this sort of koala's eye at the bottom there, just easing it all the way around. And then when you're coming into this sort of little ditch dent here, I found that Soutache cord is quite good when it gets warm, when you've handled it a bit, it's quite good at going around corners and going around soft curves by just giving it a little bit of a dent. And you see how it's semi-training itself.
Yeah,
to
I
go
can see
down.
that. You wouldn't expect that.
No, you wouldn't,
I can see
but
it.
it is. So now I'm doing an outside shaping stitch because I'm coming from the outside in. So I'll do quite a large stitch through the ditches of those 3 creams. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick up the first row of the koala face, and I'm coming up. I don't know whether you can pick it up, but my needle has come up between, let me flip it over. My needle has come up between 2 layers.
Yeah, I see.
Because if you come up actually through the braid, you'll see the stitch. If you come up between the layers of braid, when you pull the needle back through and the cotton back through, the nylon back through, it'll bury itself in the ditch. Okay, so we just pull that through because we're trying to encourage it now to go into that little shape. Okay, pull it through. Now what I want to do now is I'm going to give that a tug now. I can now because I've gone around that corner. Okay, this will shape. Okay, so I need to find those 2 layers and go back to the back through those 2 layers. Don't you dare come out. Don't you dare think about it. And come through and say, you see that stitch has totally disappeared in there now. And then I need then to come up a little bit higher where that little dent is, that little dent there, in there. And then I'm going to pop on a bead. Okay, this with soutaching, you can use these tiny beads to joins, to cover curves, to cover where you've returned that way and then you've returned that way. So these, I forgot, there's a name for them. I think curlicues they call them or something. That might be a bird. You can use all the tiny beads to either highlight or to cover a join. Okay, so I've popped that bead on there, and now I'm just going to go back through the beige Soutache cord again. I've gone through a gap between the 2 layers and pulled that through. You see that little bead is sitting down there now, sitting just a little distance away from that one on the top. So we've got that in, and now I'm going to bring my Soutache to this other side of the koala face. So coming from the back, come back through a layer. You can come back through 2 layers or just 1 layer, and then head the needle into that parallel stack. Find the ditch, which I haven't found. There it is on that one. Get that next one. If you don't find the ditch, what happens is this the stitch oversews the edge, and you'll see it, or it just sort of crimps it up a little bit. So what I've done now is I've attached this white thread is now attached to this one here. It's come around the other one, and now it's attached by the back of the coil of the Soutache. I don't want to catch that. Give that a little bit of a tug, because this is a part. Don't tug. Don't give this too much tension as you're working around, but when you're actually fixing a point, when you're pulling something in that you do need to create a shape with, that's the part, that's the only time that you give a good bit of a tug onto the thread. Don't do it as you're gently coming around anywhere, because it will start to pucker. Okay. Yeah. So, and now I'm going to come back into the dent that I've just made here. So I've just made that little dent there. I'm coming back through there. A needle.
Whilst you're getting another needle, I'll fill, shall I? Filly. I've got another question. It's our 3rd question, okay? By the way, I didn't know that. Who is the patron saint of jewellers?
I didn't know that, and I don't know.
I did ask lovely Linda in the break whether she knew that song lyric. She didn't. Who did you say you thought it was? Even though I said it was something to do with saints.
Oh, okay. Now I might have clicked again. Okay.
Who did you say it was?
Well, I was just thinking George Michael because I was thinking of St George.
As soon as I say it's saint, oh, George Michael. Yeah, he's a saint. So, do not worry. That is your third question. Keep your text with you. Don't text us in now. It does workshop for free.
There won't be any daft questions on my workshop, neither.
There will be 0 daft questions. And you're going to be getting a red and white bead cube as well. And whilst we're here, actually, let's play a game.
Yep.
Do you want to play the colour alliteration game again?
This is the other one I got wrong, isn't it, before? You start, and then I'll subliminally I'll get on that track.
All right. So we like to do, on my show here, colour alliteration. So what we'll do is we have to have a bit of alliteration with each of the colours. So we'll do one each. I'll start, okay? This is for your Sutache cord, Summer Garden Sutache Orange.
Lovely lilac.
Oh, you're getting good at it. Preppy Periwinkle.
Oh, I like that. Oh, this is gorgeous green.
Oh, good, same as producer Pip, that was. This is Powerful Pink.
Yeah, right. This is Pretty Pink.
Oh, cutesy. I don't even know what colour this is. Oh, yes, I do. Perfect Peach.
Perfect Peach. Like, what colour's that? Is that Passionate Purple?
Oh, passionate voice. I love that, Linda. So you have got so many better at this game, and so have I actually. I think I've improved as well. So you're getting 2, 4, 6, 8 different colours of your Sutache cord. This is called your Summer Garden Collection.
Gorgeous.
The price today for all of this is a tiny £14. Isn't that exceptional? But that's not the price you're going to be paying today. Oh no, that's the before price. No, it's designer inspiration. We're going to take everything off we can. Your price today for £9.95 for you today to get your hands on 8 of these. What do you think of that price?
Well, for 2 reasons, it's astonishing. Because to be honest, you know, it's not that easy. To be honest, there's not that many suppliers out there. And when I first started Soutache, we'd only got a few samples in, so I wanted a real rich blend of colours. So I went out and bought them, and I was paying £2.25 for a card.
So that'd mean that you were paying how much? So you'd be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, about £18 you'd be paying for this amount.
Yeah, well, that's what I did pay.
£9.95 for you today. Summer Garden, £1.24 these are working out at each for you today. LUGC 16, 3 yards on each one, 3 mil.
So we've just sort of exited into that little curve that we've made with the cream Soutache. Now I've popped on another one of the tiny crazy lace, okay? And I've just slid that down into that little semicircle there, okay?
Yeah.
And then working out towards the excess Soutache, I'm going to put a tiny little stitch about 2 mil from the bead through the 3 layers of the cream Soutache, through keeping a close eye on its path, that it's not going to catch in the layers of the Soutache cord. Bring that through. Okay, and then you're going to start to curve that back on itself. So we're now going to do another outside shaping stitch by easing it round is much better than letting it go a little bit sort of wayward. So easing around, you see the direction that you want to go in, pop the needle in, find the ditches and pull it through all 3, okay, and bring it through. And then it's surprising how many stitches you need to do to make it a perfect round. To come back here. So we're basically there now, because to make that coil there, I need to have my thread exiting from the outside. Because what I want to do now is go back in to the Soutache that I'm coiling around there, and then head it back in from the back, again going through a layer of Soutache between the beige and the cream. I've hit it there, and then go back just a smidge bit away and go back into the back of the coil. All you're doing is consolidating that coil, okay, and just keep doing that, just either heading for the gemstone or heading for the space in between any layers of Soutache, but try not to catch the Soutache itself. Okay, there it is, it's just in between the layers. Pop it through, return the needle back through that same layer and push it through. And that's that coil effectively made. So what we need to do, now I'm going to jump, okay? I'm not going to, you can then take the thread, the back of the work here, okay, will be covered ultimately by the ultra suede, but just do parallel stitching on this here. Backwards, come back where you've exited and go back again, make them parallel, not over the top, and then just trim that off, and then move your needle and cotton back up to where we started. Now I'll jump that literally because we're on air. So what we need to do now is to take the cotton, to take that where we started the cream layers, which are tucked behind the koala face. We need to come back again between the layers, and sorry, my hands are getting a little bit hot now. Coming back between a layer, I'm just going to sandwich that down. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely.
Nothing worse than a warm hand,
especially when you're trying to pull a needle through.
I know.
Yeah. So that's all we do, okay? We just go through the layers of the Soutache and we're just consolidating that curve around that side, okay? You do it more times than I am, but making sure that you go in between. What you do then is exactly what I've just told you to do, parallel stitching over those 3 layers, and then you can take off the excess. When you take the excess off, okay, just the nature of Soutache thread means it will fray. It's just the nature of the thread. There's nothing you can do about it. So a tiny little bit of nail varnish, clear nail varnish, or a tiny little bit of super glue on those ends. Okay? And then we flip it over. And now, because that thread has been in and out so many times, I can even afford to lose my knot. So I can just chop that off. Okay. So to do the little, I'll just do, all I'm going to do is just a couple of the little picot patterns around the edge with the peridot, because they're so tiny. But this medium of Soutache means you can use humongous great big beads, humongous great big cabochon pendants, and then you can use these tiny little 2 mils. They sit together absolutely beautifully.
Whilst we're talking about gemstones, I'm just wondering, could we use these in the centre?
Yeah.
To make something really big, really profound?
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, I think you will find that there's a general law that says don't go above 8 mils. But I think that's really a beginner's law. Okay, but as you get more and more expertise, then be more adventurous with the size that you're using. All it will mean, don't be impatient, just put the infrastructure in, but by all means they would be stunning.
I love that. And actually with the colours you've got in this kit, goes beautifully, doesn't it?
Absolutely beautifully.
See that?
Yeah.
Oh, I love them as a colour combo.
I mean, you don't even have to Soutache with them. You can make, you can kamihimo with these.
Oh, with the quarter crush cam.
Yeah, and you can macrame with them if you want to.
There is a load you can do with them, isn't it? Yeah. Give it a go. Balls of chocolate, 930 carats worth of this chocolate banded agate. I have a feeling that this was scheduled. You're getting 2 strands. There's 450. Well, that's peculiar. So there's 400 these are 2 separate strands. 450 on one strand, 480 it says to me on the other strand. Well, this is special. Actually, now you say it, I can see it. Because you've got the different mixture of colour tones actually running through here. £12.40 should be your price, which actually is pretty much average for a big box of chocolates nowadays, isn't it? Ooh. If you get yourself a big family size box of chocolates, have you seen the price of them?
No, I must admit I've got a slight addiction to chocolate, and it's normally at night I'm craving chocolate.
I'm exactly the same. It's not £12.40. That's just the silly price that's coming in with graphics to come back on. And do you know what else annoys me about chocolates? You always eat your favourites, don't you? And then you have all the rubbish ones left, and then what do? Wait for someone who likes coconut.
Yeah. I mean, it's really annoying when that happens. Somebody else in the
house.
Sorry.
No, go on.
Oh, sorry. No, it's really annoying when somebody else does that in the house, because I don't like the toffees and I don't like the caramels.
And you don't like the caramels?
No, and I still think I've got a nice box of chocolates. I open it up and what's left? toffees and caramel.
Friend
You
who
do?
likes totally different
I will be
flavours.
bringing them in for
What about
you.
coconut? Do you eat coconut?
Oh yes, love coconut.
Oh, see, whereas I can't think of anything worse. Me and you, Linda, we're going to get ourselves a box of Shockies and go wild. £9.95 for these 2 whopping strands. You've almost got 1,000 carats worth here. 930 carats worth, £9.95 for you today. QBGC75. Got people double buying on this today because let's face it, this is going to last you a while. These are great for stocking up your stash. Should have been 14. Oh, could have been closer to 13. £9.95 for you today. Have fab. Beautiful. Don't worry, we will be repeating all of the questions someone has messaged in. Don't message in your answers yet. There is one more question at 4. So we'll let you know. And then text crazy. Okay. So just write them down. We'll repeat them all in a bit. Fab.
Right, so now you've done this and you've fixed the cords and glued them off, rethread at the top in between the beige and the white, rethread the cotton through the top layer of the white Soutache, so you're coming out through that ditch, pop on 1 peridot, okay?
Yeah. And
then just go back down through the layer. Just do is only on the very first one is I take my needle back through that little peridot, okay, and bring it back through, just so that that very first one has got quite a tight fix to it, okay. Then I thread on 2. 1. Actually, the peridot aren't as difficult as some to thread on. I mean, can you imagine putting a hole in that little one like that and a needle's going through it? A needle's going through it.
Isn't it?
So thread on 2 and let them drop down, standing proud on top of 2 at the base, a little sort of pyramid-y shape. Yeah. So don't put your cotton back in and on a 2-space bead. In other words, if I put that back in, that'd just hug round it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So if I put my cotton back closely to that first bead, okay, and push through, and then pull that through, what will happen is you get that. Can you see that little?
Yes.
It's got that little
triangular
shape, okay? And then bring the needle back up by that last, bring it back up through that last one and thread on 3, okay? Thread on 3 next.
Yeah. And
then go back very close to the when you've threaded on 3, 1 is obviously going to be sitting on there and 2 are going to be on the cotton, but just put the needle back very closely to where that first bead's sitting and you'll get that picot edging again. Picot edging all the way round, and then on the pair of earrings I've done here, you can see where the picot edging went. Okay, so it just went round and sort of highlighted, almost like, that makes me think of Chinese dragons. Why? This makes me think of Chinese dragons.
Well, it's better than Pip. He said it reminded him of an orangutan.
Thanks, Pip.
Oh, the other way round. Oh, okay, so the other way round, like this.
Okay. Oh, I can see that.
Oh, and he's got a little quiff.
I can see that.
Oh, cute.
That's very Lion King.
It's like Elvis. It's kind of like the Lion King, isn't it? Isn't it? Elvis lion. If Elvis was a lion.
A Soutache Elvis. I'd love to do that.
Do you know what, actually? Not that I was stalking you today, but you know a story's going to be good when it starts like that. I wasn't stalking you, but I was looking at your favourite quote is.
Yeah.
Go on.
Elvis leaving the building is my... It's not my favourite quote, it's the one I don't like. Elvis has left the building.
But it's his favourite quote.
Well, yeah, no, it's the one that, you know...
stands out for you.
Yeah, it's the one that upsets me. Because, you know, but I went to, locally, there was a big Elvis 2-day function on. Oh, wow. And there's the world champion guy, Doug Church, was there, and honestly, he is Elvis.
Really? Does he look and act?
Yeah, he is. He's got every movement, everything.
Wow.
So I put on Facebook, because my brother was Facebooking me, and I said, you know what? Elvis is back in the building.
Oh, I love that! Favourite Elvis song?
You Gave Me a Mountain, which is, I don't do the commercial stuff, I like all the albums.
Anyway.
Right, so you've picot-edged on the one side, and then just to sort of asymmetrically balance on the other koala face here, which is here, I've just literally threaded wands, okay? If you can see them there, just wands on the side there.
Yeah.
And then I've attached a sewn on a closed jump ring there, and attached the shepherd's hook. Then at the base, I've attached my thread just to this little curlicue here. I've threaded on a tiny gemstone, followed by the shell, followed by another tiny, and then re-threaded back, missing that bottom one. Okay, don't re-thread back through that. Well, then you'll use that bottom little 2mm as a stopper. Okay, and then just thread back through the second 2mm and pop the needle and thread back through there, over sew it once or twice, and that's the earrings completely finished.
How simple is that? Now, will you talk about us how to finish them off with
Right, yes, unfortunately I didn't have time. All you do is
I'm going to bring you this now. This is your backing foundation. So why is this important?
It gives a nice feel to, particularly if you're doing a large piece. Not so much a pendant piece perhaps, but a large flat collar piece. The bead, this is what we use to glue, because a cabochon doesn't have a hole, correct? So consequently that's a bit of a pickle to start with. So we use this backing foundation and we just super glue our cabochon onto that backing foundation, taking care that you don't get the super glue right on the edge, because you do need to sew onto that backing foundation your first rows of soutache, and you won't get through super glue if it's near the edge. So just leave a couple of mil free of super glue. So that's what we do with the backing foundation. The ultra suede is the finishing off. It's the finishing touch, whereby when you've completed a component, an element of soutache, before you do all that little beading, take a template of the shape, literally draw that shape around onto it, and then cut it out, okay? And then whip stitch it on to the soutache piece that you've made, and whip stitch is going in and then coming back through the ditch and then coming back through the ultra suede and whipping it over, and as you whip it over it pulls the ultra suede between the layers of soutache cord, so it sits in like a little glove. If you've got a soutache piece that's a little bit, say you've used the larger rounds, you can imagine the back of it's going to be a bit sort of bulbous, and you're not going to have a flat back for your ultra suede to go on. So just use a little bit of cotton wool, a little bit of caper, a little bit of that, just to bulk it out a bit, so you've got a nice cushion back. Sew it on and then do all your little beadwork after that. Don't do your template after you've done all your tiny beadwork on the outer edges, because it's difficult.
I love that. So it really is an essential finishing off tool.
The cabochons you definitely need if
cabs.
you're going to have cabs, yes, and the ultra suede is finishing touch, and it does make a difference. And I'm working on a piece at home whereby I'm using all the different colours of ultra suede on the backs, because if you're doing a rainbow coloured piece, all the different colours of ultra suede's on the back look lovely.
You've got in here, now each of these are 8.5 inch by 4.25 inch. You've got this also got this country cream ultra suede, as well as the black beading foundation. The price for these three should be £7.35, which I think is a great price actually, because it's a finishing touch, isn't it? Yeah, this is the type of thing that's going to, well, these in particular, is going to be behind scruffy at the back or a professional finish.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'd fancy a cheeky little deal though. It is designer inspiration. Let's do it on the nose, shall we? No, not 7. How about 6? Your price today for these, on the nose, £6 for it. And honestly, doesn't this fit
with my challenge today? But it's over there. If you've bought the kits, the bundles, and you're not really wanting to try soutache just at the minute, this ultra suede is great for if you want to make a collar.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to sew buttons onto a collar, if you want to sew gemstones onto a collar, if you want to make brooches, you just cut it to shape and then sew your gemstones on.
I love that.
So, you know, it's great for that.
What about those buttons that we've given you for your challenge?
That's exactly what I'm doing
buttons?
with them, along with some gemstones. I probably won't get very far with it, but
that's all right.
It's a great idea. But you can see on the back of here that beading foundation is what you can also Pop a cabochon on and then envelope it in these tiny beads, and as it shows on the picture on the back there, you can peyote bead around it.
That's gorgeous. £6 for all of these goodies for you today. Really easy, and like we say on our YouTube page, Jewellery Maker YouTube, you'll be able to see loads of different ideas to use with
Yes,
this,
of
won't you?
course.
Absolutely, totally will. How pretty are those? I think they are just so wonderful. Thank you so much for showing us those. Now I have got one more bundle I'm going to squeeze in before our final question. Do not worry, we will be recapping. Did you just go dong then? All right, Chris Tarrant. I've got for you a couple more of our Sutache cords and the Eslon thread. This is an essential and a staple, really, isn't it? Talk to us about why this is so great for Sutache.
Well, it is. Again, it's specifically made for sewing, particularly for Soutaching. Because it's nylon, it's strong. Because it's nylon, it's also slippy, if you see what I mean. Some cottons will catch. Well, they'll catch because they are slightly rough. I mean, you can get the sort of mercantile cotton, is it, the silkier ones, but I have honestly, particularly when I first started Soutache, tried when I didn't really have that much knowledge about it, tried sewing including monofilament. So you learn the lessons, but the Eslon thread is right for the job, and if you've got something that's right for the job, you'll get the right finishing sort of project that you're making as well. I don't know how, it doesn't say how many meters are on it, but I tell you what, I haven't used either the black or the white up yet in my originals.
Really?
Honestly, yeah, it's a bit like the beading thread, it's as long as it's long.
Wow, that is as long as it's long. I don't know, it doesn't even say on my thing actually, it just says Eslon thread. Yeah. How about one day when we're getting our chocolates out, we just measure this, spend the whole afternoon.
I'll probably end up in Redditch and you'll still be here.
Probably. Today, give it a go if you haven't, or just stock up with your stash. The price today is not £6.20. That's what it would be if you went on our website now to purchase these separately. It's going to be a stunner of a deal. Every penny we can, we will. £5.95 for you today. 3 yards on each of these. You've got this gorgeous green, these red chevrons, and you've got this camel effect as well with the Eslon. £5.95 for you today. Oh, exciting. What would you say to someone if they are getting this right now for the first time? What would you say to start off with? How would you say?
With the Soutaching? Well, definitely just practice the koala face.
That's a technique name, isn't it?
Yeah, they call it the koala face. Practice that. Start with just one layer of Soutache cord. Then you start at the top here, and you have level drops from it, but you start at the top. I will do it next time I do Soutache. I know we're a little bit pushed for time today because we've had Jill on as well. So we will sort of go over that again. But that's where you start. Just start with a koala face, adding one layer at a time. Okay. Stitch your ditch every time. Take your time. Don't rush it. This down and go and do your shopping, go and do your cleaning, go out, do one, then pick it up again. Yeah. So don't rush it. It's meant to be relaxing and enjoy it.
It is quite an addictive medium, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah,
you remember producer Kirsty? She started off, just gave it a go.
Yeah,
she didn't for ages, and then she couldn't get her hands off it.
There's lots of inspiration on the web. Loads and loads and loads of inspiring pieces. There's also loads and loads of if you look at fabrics and things, and you'll get inspiration from patterns on fabrics and things like that. You know,
I love that your inspiration comes from anywhere. Thank you, Linda, for showing us that. Let's see. I've got double buyers on that as well. Let's see our fourth and final question. This is your chance to win for our St. George's today. They're all going to have a similar theme running through of saints. That should help you with quite a few of the answers, and you've got the chance to win your place on a free workshop. Should normally be nearly £60 with lovely Linda, and it is the new to Jewellery Maker. So even if you are brand new to jewellery making, you've never tried it before, come along. But if you're not, it's great just to meet new people and get loads of free goodies, to be honest, and a nice buffet. And you're going to get a bead scoop as well. Red and white bead scoop. There's gorgeous gems in here. You've got howlite, you've got jasper, you've got quartz, you've got coral in here as well. Loads and loads of goodies. This is your final question. We'll show you the final question and then I'll recap them all. Which Cornish seaside town has 4 beaches?
I think I know that one.
Do you?
So.
And it's to do with our theme. Do you think you've got it?
I think I know that one. I've
Do
been
you?
there a few times.
Have you? Help us a clue.
I tell you what, I might not be right because there are, on this saints theme, there are many places in Cornwall that could be, not, it is specifically there's 4 beaches there.
Yeah.
But there are many places, so think about that one a bit. Don't just go for the first thought like I did, because I've got another one now in my head.
That. Now you've had all 4 questions. I will recap, but I just want to let you know, now you can start sending in your answers. You can do that in the following ways. Either do it on jewellerymaker.com, send a message to the studio. You can text in as well. Text number is 60777. Start your text with the word JM Studio. You can also do it on our Facebook page as well. Go onto Facebook, type in Jewellery Maker, one word, you'll see our logo. You can also type us in there, or private messages if you would prefer. Let's go through all 4. Number 1. St George is the patron saint of which of these? Is it the Freemasons, the Scouts or athletes? That was question number 1. So write down that now, write it in your message, save it, wait till you've got all 4. The second question was, which band sang Flexing Vocabulary runs right through me, the alphabet runs right from A to Z? No, it's not George Michael, as Linda suggested. It is to do with our theme. Third question that you're going to need to win your place on this workshop and the B Scoop. Who is the patron saint of jewellers? Now, yes, we have had messages saying jewellers is spelt wrong. We have therefore been passing the buck on this. I did write it. I blamed the fact that I am dyslexic, and then I've blamed Ryan, who should have checked before he put it on the slide. Everyone's passing the buck on that. Sorry about that.
You spelled it the American way, so it's
Jewellers.
right and wrong, isn't it?
See? Well, I got halfway there. I'm quite proud of myself. And the 4th and final one that you're going to need for this. Which Cornish seaside town has 4 beaches? Good question. It's something to do with our topic. Do not forget to attach your customer number. We're going to be telling you who the winner is, and you're going to get to come along to the studio, have a little look around the museum. You're going to get to come to lovely Linda's workshop. Everything you make, you can take. If you're on Facebook, don't worry about your customer number, of course, because we can find you on there. But what I would say is maybe private message if you've got a chance to do that. So do message us in now with those 4 answers. Eee! Thank you so much, Linda. I'm going to let you carry on with your challenge because we'll be back over here, not only with the winner, but also with lovely Linda for a challenge and so many goodies after this break.
Get involved with Jewellery Maker by sending the studio a message during our live hours. You can send a text to 60777 and start your message with JM Studio, or alternatively simply type your message into the box and press send. Make sure you stay tuned in case your message is read out. Get interactive with Jewellery Maker.
If for any reason you're not satisfied, you have the benefit of our no-quibble 30-day money-back guarantee. Just complete the returns form enclosed with your goods and send them back for a full refund.
Jewellery Maker ships to the following countries. We offer 2 delivery services, standard and premium. So wherever you are in the world, Jewellery Maker are never far away. Join guest designer Gemma Crow for our Adventures with Beading Thread DVD. Gemma will guide you through a variety of techniques from basic to more advanced ways you can use beading thread, including techniques and much more. To get your hands on a copy, simply contact our call centre. Get creative with Jewellery Maker.
Welcome back to Designer Inspiration. Thank you for joining us. The Starter Soutache collection is still available. I've got plenty of you still on the phones for that actually. Don't forget you are getting 3 packs of the Soutache called with your Eslon. It was reduced just $5.95 for all of that today. Now we are in your one hit wonders section. What does that mean? I'll tell you. It means that all the gems you're going to see in this section you've only seen once before on screen. But coming up in this bit as well, I've also got these brand new strands that no one's ever seen. These are coming up separately. I've got bundles coming up in here. I've got findings. I've got glorious chain. These 2 are coming up separately as well. We've never seen these beauties before. I say that, but I did show them to you before. You know what I mean? And I love this chain. I cannot wait to bring this to you. If you've seen this chain, I haven't. Have a look at it. Our chunky chain has been so popular recently. But see, this has got your hanging chain as well. It's got the little separate bits hanging at the bottom. Isn't that fab? This coming up for you in a wee while as well. Let's start off with one of your one hit wonders. Where are we going, my love? Have a look. Actually, I think I've done these last time. Did we do these last time? This is your May birthstone, perfect for this time of year. Your emerald, 80 carats worth of these. Sizable as well, it's important to point out. Look at the size of these. All the way up to 20 by 14 mil actually. That is a sizable amount. I've got on my strand 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Of course yours is done on carat weight, but it's nice to know, isn't it? The amount you should normally be getting on a strand. 80 carats worth. Emerald is something that is synonymous with, I don't know why I think this, but I always think the first celebrity, really, Cleopatra. And this was one of her favourite gemstones. She went to battle and war over mines that contained this to be myth, actually, Cleopatra's mines, but they were found relatively recently ago, in living memory they were found, and they always thought they'd just been a myth, something just in stories, something in fairy tales, something that had just been depicted on walls in ancient Egypt, but actually they did find the mine. Now the mines had 0 yield in there pretty much whatsoever. They found tiny scraps of emerald, but hardly anything, purely because Cleopatra just rinsed it out essentially. She loved it so much. She would adorn herself in emerald all the time, absolutely adorn herself in, because she believed it was good luck. She believed that it would help her stay healthy. 80 carats worth of this emerald, 20 by 14 mil, some of these. It is a luxurious strand and it's a stunning price. You're not going to believe this. £9.95. So I said I had 11 on this strand. That's less than £1 each. Wait, look at this. Say I was just going to have this. Do you know what? I love this as a ring. I'd probably have it the other way actually. I like the idea of it pointing up. But imagine that, okay? This, like though, less than £1 that's cost. And it is beautiful ring size, isn't it? Isn't that stunning? Pair of earrings you've got in here as well. I love the idea of wire wrapping. Do you know what these are in that room, which I don't think we're allowed to mention? That thing you've been working on this morning with some of your friends, I think this would go with that, you know, wouldn't it? There's something that Linda and her lovely friends have been working on all day in the workshop room, and I think these would go gorgeous. You'll find out about that on the birthday show. It's very special. £9.95. ADRU64 is the code on this today, and it's just £9.95 for genuine emerald. This is exceptional. Totally natural emerald. Can you believe totally natural emerald for £9.95? 80 carats worth for £9.95. In fact, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Do a little online search for me, can you? Like emerald earrings or emerald drop charm or something like that. Tell me the size of it. If you could do a similar size to ours, say 20 by 14 mil, and let's just have a little look. Because I think it's always important to compare prices, isn't it? Let's face it, we say that all the time on everything, not just on this. We say it with insurance, holidays and everything. 80. I doubt you'll find 80 carats on anything, if I'm honest. I doubt it. Is there? No. Already said no. There's no 80 carats of emerald anywhere. No. Just here. Because the thing is, it's so important to do. Honestly, I think it's just so easy when you see time and time again genuine emerald of this size, totally natural, 80 carats worth. It's so used to it being the price it is here, but it's important to remember that everywhere else it's not. I've got a 15 by 10 mil, so that is pretty much the average of this size. 15 by 10 mil emerald with faux gold, so copper plated gold. And the emerald apparently has been dyed. We're doing this live now. £8.55 for a drop that is halfway between this, just one drop, and it's dyed emerald. And it's a middle, that is so crazy when you see that. When
Jewellery Maker price, you wouldn't actually think there was anything wrong with the other one?
No, you probably wouldn't.
Would you?
You probably wouldn't.
That emerald's stunning. I love it. Beautiful.
Yeah. That is something so special.
I love the marks on it. I love all those inclusions in it. It just makes it just such a mineral for me.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It makes it so, well, it reminds you that it is a real gemstone, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It truly does. £9.95. ADRU 64. There's about 9 of you with this in your baskets actually. I've had plenty already checking out, but there is about 9 of you with it in baskets. It is important that you check out. Don't forget you can check out as many times as you want to until midnight, can't you? £2.90. Every single product you've seen on the show. Calm down. The Matrix pot's falling over. Even if you bought everything, it would still only be £2.95 for your postage packaging until midnight. So pack it in. Do you know what? For me to say it's an add it to your order price, £9.95, and it's emerald, it's fall off your seat clever. Amazement. £9.95 for you today. Hello everybody. Hello Jane, Gloria. What I will say is there's 9, 10 of you now actually with it in your baskets. Make sure you're all checking out. I'm going to move on, but stay where you are on the phone. I've got for you a reel of colour. That is a serious that's my pop of colour here. What do you think of this beautiful strand, lovely Linda?
Usable, really. I was only thinking this morning, you know, that green, blues and oranges work together. I mean, that's basically what the world's covered in, isn't it? Green, blues, oranges, yeah. You know, sea, sand and grass and that. But it really is a lily of the valley green, that is for me, and that's so it's quite an unusual green. Lily of the valley is quite an unusual green, isn't it? It's not, when I say unusual, it's not. There's not a lot of that green, that specific green, and that's what peridot. I immediately think of lily of the valley when I can smell lilies of the valley when I look at peridot.
Linda, I love the way your needle finger and your looking nose works.
Yeah, me looking nose.
Look at it, I just smell it.
Nose. See, there's 2 more eyes.
I love it. You've got 35 carats worth of this. It is a completely unique colour tone. It's so stunning. These are your graduated faceted ovals, so that you see the centre drilled, and they are the ovals, and they've got faceting upon that. It's a 30 centimetre strand, 0 spaces in this whatsoever, between 4 to 6 to 7 by 9 mil. The price for this lengthy strand of one of your favourites today, £10.95, ladies and gentlemen, for all of this. Miners used to believe that they could only mine it at night time. Did you know that? Back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, because they believed that it would, when they went to look at it at night, true story, apparently. £10.95.
Times have changed.
Oh, how times have changed. You just take your light down now, don't you? £10.95 for you today. And, oh, I love this strand, I love this strand, I love this strand, I love this strand. I love this strand. Honestly, I was just thinking the exact same. It'd go really well with the peridot, wouldn't it? 45 carats worth of your pink amethyst here, gemstone of love, so it is said. And also, if you think of amethyst when it comes to love, it is often a present given for a first wedding anniversary or a wedding day present as well, isn't it, amethyst? It's quite a regular one. Let me show you it with the peridot. Oh yes. That looks like walking through a spring garden, doesn't it? You've got the green grass, and then you've got these little purple buds, these little pinky purple buds coming through. I think they go gorgeously together. So this is a lengthy strand, again 30 centimetres. It's from 2x1 to 5x2, 45 carats worth of this graduated faceted rondelles. Your price? 5p for amethyst. This is my birthstone. I love amethyst. I think there's something just so passionate and fun about it. And do you know what as well? It's apparently, because it's synonymous with February, and also it's the birthstone of February, but it's also the, what's that called? Horoscope. It's the zodiac gemstone of Pisces as well. And that's why it's said to be a very creative gemstone. It's meant to boost your creativity. And let's face it, as jewellery makers or creatives in general, every little helps. £6.95 for you today. Oh, this is bright, this is fun. Lovely Linda. We haven't played 3 words today.
Okay.
3 words to describe this strand, please.
Stunning, definitely. I love that word, stunning, for a gemstone.
Stunning.
Mouth-watering.
Is that 2 words?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to put that together as one.
No. Mouth-watering?
Yes, it does make some mouth. Because only as a jewellery mouth-water, because I want to work with it from a jewellery maker's point of view. And glorious, that's another word as well.
Wait, you're moving over this quite quickly, Linda. So not only do you have a needle finger, your nose also smells gems, and your mouth waters when you see certain gemstones as well.
Yeah, but don't you find that those are the emotions anyway when you see something you really want? You really want it, so all the senses go hyper.
Okay.
Don't ever disagree. Something you really want yet then?
Obviously not, no. Mouth water, only if it's like chocolate.
Oh no, it's gemstones.
Do you get it with gemstones as well?
Oh yeah.
And you've got gemstone ears, don't you?
Yeah.
Because they talk to you.
Yeah.
Do they all have different accents?
Yes. Oh, very much so.
Please do me an impression of what this floor... Ah! He's a northerner!
Yeah,
is he?
Definitely.
I love this strand even more now. He's a northerner. 90 carats worth of your blue fluorite. This is a 20 centimetre strand. 6 to 9 mil. It's mouth watering, it's northern. Hey up, have a look at this price. £9.95 for you on this today. I love the shape of it as well. It's the drops, but then if we have a look at the faceting at the base of the drops, it's kind of squidged a little bit, isn't it? So the facets kind of span out from the centre. Can you see? It's not a normal drop that's really elongated at the top. It's always got a bit of a weeble. £9.95 for these today. Gorgeous blue fluorite. And think of the amount you could do with these, because they are a slightly different drop shape. Oh my goodness, just thought. What about with that aquamarine I've got coming up in a bit? Oh, I like those together. What about the aquamarine as the spacer? This is coming up as a star by, as well as, which is actually going to go well as well. Oh, that gives it a totally different feel, doesn't it? This labradorite. This almost makes it a little bit, what am I thinking? Kind of a little bit urban, a little bit kind of industrial almost. And then you pop it with this, and it's got that really summertime beach kind of calm, tranquil feel. This is a great strand. It's going to go with a lot of stuff. And it's yours today for £9.95. Beautiful blue fluorite, 90 carats worth of these irregular drops today. They are stunning. QYRU42 is the code today. Do you fancy a bit of a treat? Do you want a little treaty? For a cracking deal. Is it this? No. What? Oh. Oh my goodness, I've just remembered what these are. Oh my goodness, okay. Are you ready? I can't. Just open the side that open. Let's get your info in on this, and you should be priced. Let's get your price in. Before you've even looked, should be priced. This is a stunner. Let's have a look at these. These are your 2 matrix boxes, but they're the beautiful, beautiful 925 goodies. In each of these, you're going to be getting 925 toggle clasp, and it's a large one. This is totally 925. There's no ore in this. There's no, there's not loads and loads of copper. There's only 7.5% ore in this. The rest of it is solid silver. This is your 925 beautiful toggle clasp. You've also got, so you're going to be getting 2 of those because you get 1 in each box. Shape class, again, 925. These are great for people with dexterity problems. They're also great just if you find a lobster clasp so irritatingly fiddly. You've got, again, getting 2 boxes. You're going to be getting 4 pairs of these beautiful 925 shepherd's hooks, 4 pairs. You've got 2 lengths of this chain, 925 chain. Now, how long is this chain? It's 50 centimetres, that's like half a metre, isn't it? Well, it is bang on half a metre. So you're actually getting 2. You're getting a full metre in total, haven't you? Because you've got 2 of these. Here's your other one. It's the same chain, it's 925. This is chunky as well. This chain for 925. As well, you're going to be getting a selection of your jump rings, again in 925, and let me double check, I think these are closed, they are. These are your closed 925 jump rings as well. Big selection of these. I think you've got 8 of these in each, and these are 5mm. And then the gemstones that are in 925 bezels. These are just stunning. Look at the quality of this. This is serious quality. It's got a gorgeous equal smoke. Let me show you as well. You get different sizes. You're going to be getting 5 carats of the 24x16 in this gorgeous smoky quartz. But look, you're getting huge sizes as well. Look at this one. You're getting 3 of these. I wonder if you would stay there. Yeah, let's have a look. Ooh, don't shing silver. So you've got the smoky quartz, but you've also got your green onyx. And this is just such a gorgeous springtime colour. Again, your largest size. On the green onyx, the large ones, the 24x16, we're looking at around 5 carats. And take a look. Oh, wow. Wow. Green onyx, the largest is your 22x14, which is the smaller ones at the end. They've got 10 carats. So you're going to be getting, of green onyx, 15 carats worth enveloped, as it were, in 925, and you're getting 15 carats of the smoky quartz as well. Everything you can see on screen is what you've got. You are going to adore what's going to happen with this price, but you've got to be quick. I've given you a heads up. You know I'm not going to say there's just a couple of quid taken off. You're getting so much 925. Just please get yourself on the phone now, because as soon as that crash comes in, what happens is people dive on the phone then, but if you've got in a little bit earlier, it might save you a 2-minute wait. Your price for all of this today, £45 for these today. So per box, that's working out at, oh, what is it? Come on, maths mind. Isn't it about £22.50? Should be each £30, shouldn't it? Well, £29.95, so £30, give or take 5p. You're getting each box now for £22.50. This is some serious 925 action. You have got plenty going on here. And don't forget, you're getting double. This chain even is just spectacular. Anyway, even thicker than the plated copper we have in some of the findings packs. It is really, really got a lot of thickness to it. What do you need to check out your baskets, I've just been told, because there's a queue of people on the phone, and apparently I've only got 22 left. I started off with loads. No way have I only got 22 left. That's all I've got left in. £45 for these 2 boxes. It's so important. That 20 is not the amount I have on the show. It's the amount we have, full stop. You need to treat yourself to it now, because it's just high quality. It's so gorgeous quality. It's great whether or not you want to do charms, pair of earrings and a pendant you can make within seconds, to be honest. Seconds maybe a slight over the top, but in moments, couldn't you? Really good. 14 of these. Oh, 13. Unlucky for some. At £45, they're working out at £22.50 each. Let me show you with the lids on, and you get the boxes as well, which I always think are great for storing your seed beads or even your other findings. 13 left. It's going to be unlucky for some, because it looks like I've got more than that with people in their baskets, actually. It looks that way to me. Have a little look. These are the 2 boxes, 11 less. It's going to be fastest finger first, guaranteed right now. Whoever clicks to check out quickest, whoever's on the phone and gets answered next, you will be getting the next 10 single figures of this now. It's going to be another sellout in the show today. Double trouble. You know, as soon as you see double trouble, you mean it's going to be a mischievous deal. And this is definitely the case with this. It's high-end quality. And I'm sure a lot of you will agree that when people see 925, they're more than likely to purchase from you. For a couple of reasons, maybe because it's just seen as more luxury, maybe because they just know the name, they know the quality, whatever it might be. Don't worry, the graphics have gone off just because I've got so few left, but there is still some. If you're on the lines, you will be getting your one-hit wonders. This has only been on once. Wow, this looks planetary to me. Have a look at these. African jasper, this looks like. Ooh. 185 carats worth you've got here. Don't they look like planets? Don't they look like little planets? They are truly wonderful. What's your favourite planet, Linda?
The one I'm normally on.
The one you're on?
At the time.
At the time?
Yeah.
Whichever one I'm on at the
if I've
time.
got to choose a planet, I'd probably choose, what's the one with all the rings?
Saturn.
Saturn, yeah.
That's a good one. Oh, that's Pip's favourite as well. Apparently, air pressure that's working on us at all points, the air pressure on us. So when you do this, you can feel the air pressure and everything that keeps you all together. If there was no air pressure, you'd explode, right? True story. It's the equivalent, pushing on you at all times, is the equivalent of the weight of 2 fully grown elephants. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
Isn't it?
That's astonishing, actually.
Isn't that astonishing? Now you know. 185 carats worth. African elephants at that. Oh, see how I tied that in? African jasper of your plain rounds. 8mm these are. OQPO. 54 is the code on this, and it's a beautiful lengthy strand. What would you think of doing with this? Because it's gorgeous neutral tones in here.
Yeah, I mean, you could obviously use that for men's jewellery, couldn't you?
Oh yeah.
Car-made men's jewellery. Just one on a leather cord around your neck for a man. Make lovely rings.
Oh, I like that.
But again, you know that in the with the Soutache project that we did, that necklace, or the pearl necklace, that would, if you didn't want to do pearls, shell pearls or pearls, then those African jaspers would look cracking, wouldn't they, with those tiny crazy lace agates?
You're so right. Yeah. You are completely right. 185. I haven't even got your price in, but there's people on the phone. You're gonna love this. Do you know what? I've had so many prices under a tenner today. £5.95. What a stopper of a show. Hey, I'm going to be announcing the winner of my St George's Day comp very soon, and I've got a St George's Day bundle as well that we've put together for you. £5.95. 54. I've got triple buyers on this today. Not surprised, because this is going to be for male jewellery, female jewellery. I could see, you know, children of all ages and adults of all ages wearing these pieces in different ways. It's going to go with everything, isn't it? What about throwing in that peridot as well? That could go gorgeously with this, wouldn't it? £5.95. And if I did this, is anyone going to have a clue what food I'm thinking of? Lobster. No, Director Ben, not lobster. It is Neapolitan ice cream, producer Pipsy. That's why we're a team. It's like one mind shared between the two of us. Yeah, Neapolitan ice cream. If you max, what do you think about putting with this one, lovely Linda?
Yeah, I mean, I always advocate that you can use any gemstone together. It's just a matter of not really. You know, when you're putting the strands together like that, and oh no, perhaps it doesn't work. But once you take them off the temporary strand and you put them in a pot and you randomly thread them, yeah, you will get the most diverse of gemstones going with its polar opposite brilliantly.
That's a really good tip, actually,
because
I do agree with that.
I've tested it and it works.
I do agree with that. I've done that a fair few times. You're getting this beautiful African jasper today for just £5.95. There's loads of you on this, so stay exactly where you are. And actually, I've given you a sneaky peek of some of the St George's Day. The amount on here, I love this. I love this bundle. We've gone St George's Day, so we've got a white flag background in these gorgeous large diamonds that I've just shown you. Have a look at these. This is your white shell, and these are your puffy diamonds, 14mm. You've also got in here your red coral drops, which I adore. Look at these. Now, you guys out there are absolutely adoring coral at the moment, you know. I don't know if it's the time of year or just the variety we're getting, but you are absolutely loving it. If you do not know, our coral is completely ethically sourced, totally ethically sourced. We don't go into the sea to get this. We go up into mountains a lot of the time. Extinct seas used to be up in hills. A lot of the time we get it from there. Also, we get a little bit from things that have been washed up on shore, but we don't actually go into the sea at all. It's totally ethically sourced. You've also got these gorgeous red coral barrels, or tubes they're called actually. And these are 8x6mm on these. I adore these working together. What would you think of, I actually love this like this. Look at that as a bracelet. How cool would that be, like a chunky cuff? What would you think of doing with these lovely Linda?
I think it looks really vintage. It looks almost 50s type of jewellery, particularly the whites going on there with the, it's like the poppet beads that they used to have in the all sort of plastics and nylons were really heavily used in accessories.
Yeah.
So making vintage jewellery would be great. But do you know what that would really look like? I can just see the sorts of dresses that you wear, you know, little dresses with the little cap sleeves and the little sticky out skirts, the little net underskirts underneath, and just that red and white necklace with a, you know, a little chintzy print on it. That's what I can see. Really summery.
I'm so on board with that, Linda. You've just described my exact attire. My entire wardrobe, actually, yeah. I know I said I was stalking you before, but this is going too far, Linda. You've got your St George's Day trio. Let's take a look at your should-be price on this. You're going to love this. £19.85 is a quacker of a price. Because don't forget, these diamonds are 14 mil, those ones are. You're going to adore this price. Get yourself on the phone. It's yours today for just £14.95. Get your hands on them, because do you know what? It's spring, it's summer, it's a beautiful mixture of pieces you're going to be able to get out of this. And actually, I could see this being Soutached.
Yes, definitely.
This, couldn't you?
Yeah.
I love
definitely.
this idea.
Yeah, those shells would be great, and then using the drops at the side, yeah, they would be lovely.
I adore £14.95 St George's Day trio with your shell and coral, and these as well, 10 by 6 mil and 8 by 6 mil on these 6 mil. There's such a beautiful selection in here. HYGC 78 is the code on this today. Get it whilst you can, because essentially you're getting it for less than £5 a strand. And when we look at the length of these strands, you're getting plenty on there. Oh, hello. Especially these corals. Where's my ruler of truth? Come here, you. Look at this. We're looking at around 40 centimetres strands on this, aren't we? Because look at this, this is the extra bit we have. This is a 30 centimetre ruler. This is exceptional. £14.95. It's your St George's Day trio. And do you know what? These are so popular at the moment, especially the shell with the coral. It's amazing. Get your hands on it whilst you can. Got a little bit of a findings pack for you now. Is it the one on my desk, my love? Oh, I love these. I say a little bit. I don't mean a little bit. I mean huge amount. Wowzers. Well, let's show you all of the goodies you're going to be getting in here. Let's have a look. Look at how much you're getting in here. 300 carats of your multi-gemstone in the irregular drops you've got. 130 of your colour-coated hematite in the hearts and stars 6 mil. You're going to be getting this is in the rose gold, by the way, rose gold. 5 of the lobster claws. You've also got 6 of the shepherd's hooks. You're going to be getting 30 of the round brass 4 mil beads, 15 of the open jump rings in the rose gold, 5 of the brushed flowers in the 12 mil rose gold, 5 of the brushed heart charms. You've got 1 of the twisted oval link chain, 90 of the brass round beads 2 mil, and you're also going to be getting 3 rose gold toggle clasps. Everything I've just said, times that by 2, make them silver. You've got it again in this box, in the box next to it. So you're getting 5 lobster claw clasps, 6 of the shepherd's hooks, you're getting 30 extra of the brass beads, you're getting 15 of the open jump rings, you're getting 5 of the brushed flowers, 5 of the hearts, 1 of the beautiful long length of your chain, 90 of your brass beads, and 3 of the toggle clasps. Again, in the silver. Then you've got this gorgeous scoop, and you've got to look at this scoop for me. You seriously do. I wonder if it's better to show you it in the tube, because, well, it's glued shut anyway. I couldn't get it out if I wanted to. But you've got in here, smoky, can you see that they are graduated gemstones? Can you see this? Does that show up? You've got almost this garnet effect here with these beautiful reds. Labradorite in here. Isn't that spectacular? 300 carats worth we have in here of these irregular drops, and they're 3 by 2. Colourful gemstone mix. And you've got hematite, which I spoke to you about. Let me show you a couple of these hematite. I'll just get a few out. You've got a real nice selection. You've got 130 carats worth of these mystic in total. They're all 6 mil. Let me show you. These are your hearts, 6 mil. You're getting loads of these, getting a total stash. Do you know what I love about hematite? Look at that purple, and then green on the back, greeny blue. Isn't that fab? So you're getting loads of these, because look, hearts, 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 hearts. And then in the base, you've got your stars. Aren't they fab? These are fun as well. Very cutesy. As well as that, you're going to be getting these diamond cut gem beads. Let me get a couple of these out. I'll show you the two different designs on them, and then you've just got to imagine them in the other colour. So this is design on one. You've got these semicircle diamond cut. Now they're called diamond cut because they are actually cut with diamonds that gives them this gorgeous effect. So you've got this textured effect at the top and at the bottom. And then can you see in the middle you've got almost these crescent shapes that we have here. And then so that's one design. You'll be getting this in the silver, the black, the gold and the rose gold. And then the other design is almost these sort of bee stripes. They're stripes that go all the way across. Do you like Theo Fennell's work? You know, he does those very whimsical bees, doesn't he? He uses those bee shapes on pretty much everything he does, to be honest. It's kind of one of his logos, one of his niches. The British designer Theo Fennell, he works with those a lot, and you've got that design on here with the lines that go all the way around each. So many you've got in here, 190. And then you've got it in this sturdy lockbox as well that fits it all in perfectly. So even once you've used all of this, how easy is that? Right, let me get your pricing because it's a stunner. £34.95 is your price on this today. You're getting so much in here. It's almost difficult to in gemstones, including the extra 130 of your Mystic Hematite and the 6mm hearts and stars. All of these findings just to top you up. Diamond cut, 190 of these in a variety of colours. If you need to stack up, you need to get more in your stash. If you are brand new to jewellery making, this is one to get yourself on. £34.95. There is loads of you on the phone. You're going to want to stay where you are because this is a cracking price, but also brand new strand in my star buy. I'm on a beach. I'm dipping my toes in the sea. I look down. Mermaid Pete isn't there. No, Pip. Mermaid Pete is not there. And look, I look down. My feet are dipped in to this sea of aquamarine. Oh, it's brand new. Oh, it's good. Ooh. 95 carats worth of this aquamarine. We have shown you how much this goes with today. These plain graduated wheels. What do you think of this, lovely Linda?
I'm actually on that beach with you, but I'm a bit frightened about that jellyfish that's just coming towards us.
Jellyfish?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
how do you do an impression of a jellyfish? I can't do that.
Blub, 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 blub.
Yeah. Yeah, now you say it, it's obvious. I feel stupid for asking. 95 carats worth.
It's gorgeous. Again, that you know the pink opal earlier. Then I said make those sort of loops. Again, that's superb for that.
Doing loops
with the pink opal as well as. Can you imagine an aquamarine and two pink opals sort of dropping there?
I love that.
Aquamarine is probably perfect with pinks because it's baby blues and baby pinks, so it's probably perfect.
I love baby blue, baby pinks. How cute is that?
It's such a pretty gemstone. I mean, it should be in everybody's stash, to be truthful.
What about, aquamarine's high end enough, but how about a bit of pink sapphire with it?
Absolutely. Well,
could you imagine? It's beautiful, isn't it? Even director Ben has said he'd wear this.
I can imagine he would actually, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
Don't disbelieve
she can see you in it. She can see you in it. 95 carats worth of this. Stunning. Now, you've never seen this before, okay? Be the first to own it. This is your premiere price today. You're going to love £9.95 for you. And this is a lengthy strand of aquamarine. Aquamarine's popularity is just going up and up and up and up and up and up and up because coloured gemstones are so popular at the moment. We've seen Dior in particular. Have a little look online if you haven't looked at season. Every single piece you look at, they're working with this blue, they're working with reds, they're working with oranges, yellows, all in one design. Coloured gemstones are massive, massive at the moment. The fact you can get your hands on this lengthy strand for £9.95, and it's a gorgeous shape as well to be able to work with. £9.95. Be the first one of your friends to own it. If you were going to get this home for the very first time, what would you do with it initially?
Do you know what? I would restrand it and just have it as a really sort of what I call a posh necklace to wear with it. It'll wear with a little black dress, chocolate brown, you know, whatever. But I might actually colour blues followed by the, you know, coming through to the paler blues. It somehow jumps more if it's just all done in that same cut and that same gemstone.
Yeah, I can see
that. And because the hues are so perfect, you know, just have a go at that. But essentially, I think I'd probably restrand it. And I know it's slightly graduated, so think of perhaps a little silver drop pen, even one of those little charms or something, a little in the centre.
Oh, cute.
Something like that, or a little waterfall or something.
Oh, I like that idea. Oh yeah, with these waterfall design.
Perfect, isn't it? Aquamarine.
Perfect. £9.95. There was loads of you getting your hands on this deal about getting this winging its way to you in a few days for just £9.95. How do you also feel about finding out the winner of our competition? It's our St George's Day. Now first, we'll reveal the answers for you. So, sit at home, if you've messaged us in, you should be ticking them off in your head. Question 1 was as follows. Which one of these, it was something to do with St George's Day is the patron saint of which one of these? It's either the Freemasons, the Scouts, or athletes. Did you know the answer?
No, I think Jill and I both took a calculated guess at, well, probably uncalculated guess.
Uncalculated. No, it was calculated. The answer today was the Scouts. Did you get that right? The Scouts. He is the patron saint of Scouts. So tick that off in your mind. Did you get that right? The second question today was the lyrical question. Oh, you had more time to think about this yet? I did give you major
I'm not
clue.
saying a word.
Go on.
No, not a word.
Have a guess.
No.
It's to do with saints.
Yeah.
The question was, who sung these lyrics? Flexing vocabulary runs right through me. The alphabet runs right from A to Z. Something to do with saints. We had a theme. Any ideas? If I say, who was in that band? Shaznay, was she in it? Shaznay? Mel? No? Oh, even more clueless now. It was, of course, All Saints.
I was going to say that, but didn't want to look a fool.
Oh, yeah, that old chestnut. Linda. You said George Michael before for that one. No, but I love that. That's your second one. Third question that we had on today was, who is the patron saint of jewellers? This was a tough one. We had to be honest, this was your answer today. It's not St. Steve Bennett, apparently. It is St. Liguus. I think that's how you say it. Apparently, yes. Patron saint of jewellery. And isn't it like metalwork? Jewellers and metalwork. Every day's school day, guys. Didn't know that either. Apparently loads of you did at home though. Loads of you did. Yeah, but how many of you searched it on the internet? Come on, let's be honest. If any of you knew that off the top of your head, pat on the back. And our fourth and final question. Which Cornish seaside town has 4 beaches? What are you thinking, lovely
Well, I
Linda?
first of all went for St Ives, and then I talked myself out of that one, thinking of another saint, but I'm going with that one.
Yes, St Ives! It is absolutely the Cornish town with 4 beaches. So loads and loads and loads of you got the right answer. One of them has been picked at completely random, and a free workshop with lovely Linda. It's your new to. Everything you make, you get to keep. You get to select your own gemstones. You get to come and meet us all here at the studio. You get to have a little look at the museum. You get to help yourself to a buffet. And then you also will be getting this bead scoop as well. Red and white. There's howlite in here. There's jasper in here. There's quartz. There's such a gorgeous variety in here. The winner today is... Oh, good fade, guys. Good fade. Emily from the West Midlands. Oh, Emily, you're only up the road, Emily. Emily from the West Midlands. Yay, well done. Thank you so much for doing this today. We cannot wait to meet you. Please get yours. Oh, so keep your eyes peeled for Emily.
Emily, I will. And Emily, I will bring you a bottle of champagne as well with my compliments for entry.
Oh, gosh, we love. I would like to say that we have got your customer number, and lovely Wendy upstairs will be in touch with you as soon as possible in just the next couple of days. She's gone home now, but she'll be in touch with you possibly tomorrow or in the next few days. So well done, Emily. I cannot wait to meet you. And well done, you. Linda, how many of those did you get right, love?
All of them.
Oh, really? Yes, I recall one. £9.95 is your price on the aquamarine, which I threw in excitement. £9.95 for this. Have another star by. It's brand spanking new. It's beautiful coated labradorite. I've had loads of questions about this. Loads of you asking when it's here, when's it's coming in. Well, it's on now, ladies and gentlemen. 75 carats worth of this beautiful coated labradorite in the graduated faceted rondelles. What do you think of this beautiful strand?
I think it's glorious. It's like dragonfly wings, isn't it? It's almost coated with dragonfly
totally
wings.
Right.
So it's going to be pretty special, isn't it, to use? It's going to be one of those strands. Lots of people tell me when they visit us here is that I've had a strand of so-and-so, but I haven't used it yet because I just want to look at it, you know, and then one day I will use it. But it's not...
You're totally right. This is a beautiful brand new strand for you. Now, coated labradorite we haven't had in for very long at all. The beautiful thing about this is that coating isn't at all a paint. It's just a little lick of something special that means you get this gorgeous colour play, but you also get that beautiful labradorescence internally within the stone. When you look at this, you're getting such an array of colours, such an interesting internal structure. You're getting this aurora borealis internally and externally on this strand. It's 75 carats worth. It's brand spanking new for today. It's a tiny £9.95 for you today on this stunning strand. Linda, what do you think of the price of that?
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's a strand that you really do need to have, because anything that you've got at home, I mean, whether you've got really high-end gemstones like tanzanite, it'll go with all the opals, it'll go with the any high-end strand that you've got's going to work with that. I personally would love to put it with more lab. Literally, would love to put it with more lab. So amazing schiller in it, which is its sort of little sister, and it would just look stunning with that.
I think you're right. Gentlemen, what are you thinking to a cufflink?
Yeah, definitely.
Would you wear this? Do it as a button.
A button's on the back of a bride's dress.
Oh my goodness, Linda, you've just taken this to another level now. You're
Can
right.
you imagine the lights sort of hitting
with those
the
shells that you've got as well on a piece.
Beautiful.
Oh, Linda, Linda, Linda. The ideas have been flowing out of you today.
Gemstones do it, not me.
See those eyes up your nose. £9.95. Hey, there's loads of you coming in with this. Loads of you purchasing 2 of these today as well. Get it home. Do you know what? Imagine this with a jewellery party, or imagine taking this for the first time to have it on your craft store. People are going to be blown away with this, aren't they? And it is going to go with everything, because the coating on top has got this beautiful, just as you so rightly said, this dragonfly wing appearance. You've got pinks in here, you've got greens, oranges, yellows, blue, pretty much every colour of the rainbow you've got in here, haven't you? So that means it's going to go with everything you could possibly wish it to go with. What I will say is you guys at home, you need to be checking out your baskets on this for me. There's loads of you on the phone. Check out your basket. It's only $2.95 until midnight tonight. And let me just see, I just want to see what it is on the neck. I want to see how this is looking. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is special against the skin, isn't it? And actually, the coating on it always bounces. You know when you're little and you used to get that buttercup and go, do you like butter? And then apparently if it shone under your neck, you did, but it... Do you see your reflection when you look in the mirror, Beth? It says it's meant to. It's meant to. It does on me. Maybe it's just the light. But it does that. It does that. The light cascades from it. How exciting is that? £9.95 for you on that today. You 5 need to be checking out your baskets though. Let me take all my goodies. Hello.
Hi.
Is it me you're looking for?
Yeah.
Cool, good, that's handy because I'm here. Now we gave you your challenge today and it was a brand spanking new product.
Yeah.
These gorgeous, gorgeous buttons. If you haven't seen these buttons yet, it's I was saying earlier, Carol told me this, we double checked it online, totally true. In a very famous department store, quite a high-end department store, you can purchase 6 of these blue beads, these here, for £3. For 6, it's £3. Let's take a look up here and see the amount you are getting, including the one that lovely Sheila has been making as well. She's made out of this too. So you were getting 6 for just £3. You got 30 grams worth to play with. These are brand new. We had absolutely loads of these and honestly there was hardly any left.
Well, they flip as well because these these will flip and you'll get this sort of wood
it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Light look and they'll flip over, so whichever way you use them is a winner.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, and because they're a natural sort of material, they're quite mellow as a button, if you see what I mean. You know, sometimes you can put a button on something and think, oh, well that is just a button, but these aren't, are they?
No.
They'll sort of they'll add to whatever you want to use them for.
It's exceptional, isn't it? It is so special. And you've got some flower shapes as well. You've got ovals. You've got so much going on in here. You truly have. Isn't that exceptional? Your price on this, are these at the bottom of your screen? They are. All of this selection, 30 grams worth for just £4.95 today. People went crazy for it when we first brought it to screen. Now is your chance to get your hands on the ever so last amount. Let's have a little look at what you've made, lovely Linda.
I mean, we're getting there.
Oh, I can see how that would build up.
Yeah, it's building. If you can just see, it's going to be a collar.
Oh, I love.
I decided to put it with some. Well, we've got some broken strands down here under the desk, and I decided to sort of have a shell-like background to it, sort of a granity background, and then just add tiny gemstones, pearls. The buttons are these buttons here, as are the flowery ones as well. They really are mother of pearl.
Stunning.
And they have got the look of it. You can't pick it up on screen, but they've got all the essence of mother of pearl. And then just popping in little highlights and that. I think once that's covered completely, it will be really pretty. And then sort of attach it with the Wags Wycombe coil, you know, to the neckline piece, and perhaps sort of have that as a quite a bold neckline piece. I think sort of Soutache cord, or perhaps even some kumihimo there, just to give it that bit of, you know, body.
I love that. Linda, it's a beautiful piece. Thank you so much. I've had a right laugh today. When are you with us next?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. I've had a text in. Who's this from? This is from Emily. I'm looking forward to it so much to seeing you all. And Linda, I will be chewing your Sutache ear off. Thank you, JM. You've made my day. Woo! Emily, we cannot wait to see you. Thank you so much for messaging in. And do not forget, this is winging its way to your tune. I will see you tomorrow for more designer inspiration. It's Ed after the break. Thank you for joining us. Have a lovely evening all. Bye.
In a pile of emerald like this, you really have a wealth of different qualities here. Everything from the kind of quality of gemstones that we've faceted into gems ready for jewellery, right through to your cabochons, through to your really, really high quality beads, through to the strands which you might have seen on a jewellery maker before, and then some flat faceted pieces as well.
The early bird catches the worm. Don't miss out on your chance to grab our amazing early bird offers at 9 AM on weekday mornings. Catch them while you can.